Hello, everybody. Welcome back to All Things Scientology, where we pull back the curtain on the abusive practices of Scientology. We are your hosts. I'm Claire Headley.
And I'm Amy Scobie. With all of our experience inside and outside of Scientology and all around, we have lots of information to share. And first thing we want to do is acknowledge everybody who is here from around the world. This is truly an international show. And people just put in the chat where you are watching from. We want to call you out.
Yes. Do you want me to? I'll go first with the first two. I see Alberta, Canada, and someone from Alabama.
Okay, I saw Tori from Burbank, California.
Yay,
And
Tori Chrisman, Tori Magoo. Don't
Tori
forget to.
McGill.
She's like the original SPTV starter person. Amazing, amazing stories.
Yes, Burbank, and then also Fort Collins, Colorado.
Yay. And then we have Ontario, Canada, and Duluth, Minnesota. Duluth, yeah. Hold on, I missed it. It went flying
Maybe
by.
Michigan? Oh, yeah, really
Yeah,
flying.
yeah.
Okay, so we got San Diego, and we got Big Valley, California.
Omaha, Nebraska, and Austin, Texas.
It says 103 today in Austin, Texas. Woohoo!
What? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's 86 here right now in Clearwater, Colorado.
Clearwater, Colorado. Is that what it's called?
No, it's not what it's called. It's a joke that I've seen people doing, which I think is really funny. They're like, "I'm here in Clearwater, Ohio. I'm here in Clearwater, California." You know, just because it makes it funny for all you fine OSA folk watching. They're like Googling, like, "Where's Clearwater, Colorado?"
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got
Yeah.
people in hot Las Vegas and Brisbane.
Nice. And then we have New Brunswick, Canada, and Clearwater, London.
We got South Africa. It says
Wow.
Oudtshoorn, South Africa, and Arkansas.
Nice. East Texas, and let's see, Arizona.
Cincinnati and Hawaii, California. Oh, Rio
Nice.
de Janeiro. I don't want to miss that one. Oh,
Nope.
Jeff Hawkins is in the house.
Yay, Jeff Hawkins. I love it here. This is like a virtual family that has sprung up
I know.
that I
I
just
know.
love. I just love.
I know.
We're gonna have a fun time tonight. I told you I have something fun to share that just kind
Yeah.
of jumped on me. I was like, you know what? It's been a little rough lately. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. You always need that, and anyway, we have a little section for a little show and tell, so we'll get to that
Yep.
because I just want to say that this community makes me so happy.
Yeah, me
It really
too.
does. It really does. Really does. Well, boy, Hamburg, Germany, Plymouth, Oregon, Plymouth, Butler, PA.
Yeah, I see that. Northeast Clearwater, Pennsylvania. See what I mean?
Clearwater,
It
Texas.
makes you laugh when you're like,
It does.
Clearwater, 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 Clear. Oh, I see Clearwater, Tennessee. North
Oh, you guys are so
Carolina.
funny.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yes.
hilarious.
Oh, well, anyway, you guys are all fantastic. And so, yeah, we've got a week in review to tell you all about. Finland checking in,
Nice.
Norway. Oh
Oh,
my
yeah,
gosh.
look at that. That's amazing.
I, I couldn't not say those ones.
Kansas City,
Okay,
Missouri.
Clearwater, Kansas City, Clearwater, Toronto.
Uh,
Okay, well, let's go ahead and get started on a week in review, right?
yes, let's do it.
Dun, dun, dun.
Oh,
Week in
yeah.
review for all things Scientology.
As
All
as
right,
Mark always says, I'll say skadoosh.
kaboom, bam. Claire. Now, I don't know why it bolded some of it and some of it didn't.
That's okay.
But anyway, bear with me. Claire appeared on Cults to Consciousness episode called Scientology's Abandoned and Neglected Children. And there you
Yes.
are.
Yes, that was an amazing conversation with Shalise Sola at cults to consciousness. And that was part 1. And part 2, I believe, is coming out tomorrow. And then actually on Friday, at 7 p.m. Mountain Time, I'm going to do a simulcast live with Shalise, like a Q&A kind of thing. So
Say that again, when?
that's going to be on Friday, 7 p.m. Mountain
Friday,
Time. Yep.
7 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
That's excellent. Everyone take note of that. That's gonna be a live simulcast.
Yes.
Fantastic. This looks really interesting. I wanna watch that.
Yes.
And
No,
by
it was amazing. And you know what's crazy? I know Mark already knew this, but I didn't know that Shalise had been to Golden Era several times as an actress.
Really?
She played
Oh.
she played L. Ron Hubbard's mother. And then in another thing she did, she played I'm sure it was a rendition of a service facsimile, like thing, held down 7, or we already learned that held down 7 is not a thing.
It's not a thing.
Walk it back, walk it back. You know, essentially a false idea that you're operating on that messes up your whole life. Does that work for
Okay.
English
That
translation?
works. Yeah,
Okay.
that works.
I don't know. I got to work on that one. Service facsimile needs a little more polishing.
Yeah. Oh my god. Okay, can I just say something? Steve
Sure.
Britton, I don't know what you're referring to. It says that I have him on ignore. I don't have Steve Britton on ignore. So,
Just so you know,
you know,
we don't ignore people. We may not have time to
no.
answer, but we don't silence people, because
Only
that's what we already lived for 30 years. So personally, I'm like, I'll talk to anyone. I may not like them. I may not like their life choices. I may not, I'm definitely not someone who will ever engage in political conversations, but I definitely don't silence people.
No,
Let's
and now
make
he's saying that he's yanking my chain. Well, thank you.
We're so gullible, Amy. What the heck? What is wrong
Even
with
oh,
us?
I know we are. Oh my gosh. And then Candy's Life said we didn't acknowledge Maine. So Maine, say Maine.
Maine.
Clearwater, Maine.
Clearwater, Maine in the house. Woohoo.
Oh, yes, we are gullible.
Oh,
Okay.
well, hey,
So
you ready for the first laugh of tonight?
uh-oh, what?
I'm not going to do my show and tell yet, but I did want
Yeah,
to
because
give
we have that in a sequence.
Yeah, I know, I know. I just wanted to give you a laugh, Amy, because you need some
Okay.
laughter. So
Yeah.
we have an amazing person in the community that's Dragonfish Handmade Goods. So see,
Yeah. Yeah,
Dragonfish
yeah, yeah.
Handmade Goods. And
Nice.
so let me present my earrings for tonight.
Yes.
Yes.
Those are
Xenu is my
outstanding.
homeboy, so thank you for those. More to come.
I love that. I love those. Yes. That's so good. Okay, well, the next thing on the grandiose list here is another episode of Where's Shelley with Hannah Whitfield and Eltringham was done. So that's great. Is that her
Yes.
second or third one?
So this was actually her Scientology stories, not Shelley, but that's okay.
Oh, okay.
This was my second episode with Hannah, and I'm really, really encouraging Hannah to start a channel because she has so many stories and she has such a unique voice in the SPTV community, especially because she and her husband Jerry,
Yeah.
the late Jerry Whitfield, for many, many years worked to help get people out of Scientology. They were kind of the precursor to the Aftermath Foundation. So I've told her I'm dying to have more conversations with her about that and her work in that. Like so far, we've only gotten up to some of her crazy experiences with L. Ron Hubbard. But
1969.
yeah, exactly. I know we haven't even gotten to the 80s yet. So there's a lot more great stuff to come, but she's really considering adding her voice to the SPTV
Oh,
network. So I'm
please.
so
Hannah,
excited.
if you're watching, please do. We need
Yes.
you because she has been a champion for people recovering from the cults and getting out of cults and working with families, and it's just so important. I met her and her husband in Hamburg when we went over and to speak, with the government there and everything. That was the first time that I met her, even though I heard of her for many years. And so she's so lovely, and
Yes.
we need every voice we can get.
We do. And I will say that while there's momentum growing, I just have such great appreciation for the voices in this community that before this community even formed were willing to, a lot it's the path of least resistance would be to just walk away
Oh, yeah.
and not do anything and not say anything and just get on with your lives. And yet here we are. And so I have such great respect and admiration for the people like yourself, Amy, like Leah, like Hannah, who they're just like, no, I'm not going to walk away. There's other people still there that I give a shit
Mhm.
about, and I'm not going to leave them there. And it's just,
Yeah.
it's so important. I feel very deeply about that.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy, I'm on that same page, that's for sure.
I know you are. I know I'm preaching to the choir. I'm just saying,
No, we're
it's,
we're we're just stating our viewpoint, but,
yep.
no, I'm not saying you're trying to convince me, I know, I'm just saying that, yeah, 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 lady, I'm with you 100%, that's for sure.
Yes.
Oh, every voice matters, it really does.
Yep.
So here's the next thing, which is Amy contributed to 2 live streams with Laura FM talking about Happy Valley Ranch. Okay, so
Nice.
the first one was with Jackson, and then
Nice.
the second one was with Janice. Everyone's wearing their goldenrod. They made me change.
To wear goldenrod? Wait, are you wearing
Oh, yeah.
goldenrod too?
I am underneath the thing, you just can't see it in this shot, and my pants are
Uh,
goldenrod. My
oh, that's
pants were
so funny.
totally goldenrod. But anyway, I just gotta say that I love Lara. I just
Oh,
love
she's
her.
amazing.
Oh,
Yep.
and we had so much, um it's like healing to go through all of these pictures of where it's like a contact assist, going back and looking at all the places where all the horrible things happened. I was in the RPF for so long out at Happy Valley. It was the first place I arrived when I arrived to the int base. And anyway, she took all this footage because it's now owned by the Indian reservation, and she was allowed to go on there with a film crew, and she went through
Wow.
the whole place and has all that footage. And we were talking about all of the things that happened at different places and what used to be where. And oh yeah, oh yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
That's crazy. Yeah, no, we first connected with Laura because her brother was working for Mark when we were still in LA, like back
Okay.
in 2009, 2010. But Laura, I remember from when she was a itty bitty thing and we were trying to go see our dog. I think I mentioned that out at the ranch,
Yes, that's
and
right.
she was one of the
Yeah.
cadets, and I was just like, oh my gosh, this sweet little girl. And
Yeah.
yeah, anyway, I'm so
All
glad
those
she's out. I'm so glad she's lending her voice to this. She's an amazing
Yes,
person. And yeah,
yeah, so talented too, she's an artist, she's amazing.
yeah,
Anyway, so I was very happy to contribute to that, and it was also really something to see that footage and
I'm
to see, like,
sure.
the labor that the kids did to turn it from the dust bowl that it was when I was there into, like, a park-looking beautiful place. So,
Yeah.
anyway, the next thing is by popular demand, I read 2 chapters of my book with added commentary. I did 2 different videos. I'm doing a chapter, like, there's chapter 1, chapter 2, and, so I'm taking my book and I'm reading the chapter, and as I go, I'm adding my viewpoint, my comments, additional info of what happened, because when I wrote my book, it was pretty much time, place, form, and event. No added emotion or anything like that, just what I could prove. Now I'm just saying anything and everything that really was going on at the time, and I'm laughing my butt off, on some of the things, like on chapter 2, when I was told I was gonna go over the rainbow, I didn't know what that meant. It meant that going to the int base, and that I was told my mom couldn't go over the rainbow, and I put my foot down and locked myself in the room and tied a big rope around the door and shoved a chair under the door handle, and I said, "I'm not going over the rainbow." I'm 16 years old. I didn't even know what Over the Rainbow was.
Oh my
Anyway,
gosh.
it's fun, and I'm doing all the chapters, and I'm just giving it's a treat for people.
Yep.
I'd still like you to buy my book and read it with me as I'm going through, but I'm gonna do this for everybody just because it's a treat, and, it's also good for me as well, you know?
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I will
Mm.
still advocate that I think you should take that audio and re-release your audiobook in your
Yeah,
voice with your
I
extra
could do that.
commentary with bonus edition because that's amazing, you know.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah, maybe
different
what
when
I'll
it's
do
in your
is
voice. It's different when it's in your voice. And
yeah, so many people don't like the one that the version that was done without that wasn't me, but,
yeah,
I didn't know how to do it at the time, and I just was trying to get anything out,
yeah,
but so what I can probably do is when I'm done, is take the audio from all of them, compile it into one, and then just put it up on my website as something that you can get for, just the audiobook
yeah,
with commentary.
yeah, exactly.
Oh, that'd be funny. Okay, so then the next thing oh, yeah. So I did a
Oh,
tribute video for my dad, Mr.
hugs to you, my
James
friend. I'm
Russell.
sorry.
Yes, yes, and this is his beautiful mug. In loving memory, Mr. James Russell Scobie. That's what, all the letters that I received when I was in the Sea Org, he signed Mr. James Russell Scobie in parentheses, dad. And
That's
so my
awesome.
letters to him were addressed to Mr. James Russell Scobie.
Oh,
Anyway, so that was my little tribute to him, and we're planning services and all that kind of stuff. That's all ongoing right now. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody. The outpouring of love and support has just been amazing and
yeah.
healing, and ugh, I just God bless you all for that. Okay, it really, really is helpful.
That's amazing.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
Big hugs to you, my friend. I love you.
That's right. Somebody says, "See the NASA hat." Yeah, my dad, he almost was never without his NASA hat. Only when if he had to, um, like in the Aftermath show, he had to take it off because they can't show that on there. But otherwise, he always had it on, no matter what. It
That's
was
awesome.
worn to a frazzle. Uh, okay, so I picked a Scientology word of the week. Na na na
Okay.
na.
Dun dun
Okay, ready?
dun.
Glee. What hold on, how did that happen? Okay, so glee is a kind of this is Scientology's definition. Glee, a kind of insanity. Glee is a special kind of embarrassed giggling. When you see glee on some fellow on a post, realize it's because he doesn't understand what he's doing. He's ignorant about something, and above that is confusion, and above the confusion is glee. And that's a quote from a bulletin. HCOB means Hubbard Communications Office Bulletin of 20 September 1968. So it's a kind of insanity. So a sentence, Mary is stuck in glee. How many times have we heard something like that?
Oh
And
my gosh.
the real world definition of glee is great delight. I mean, diabolically different, right?
Yep, completely.
Yeah. So when you hear glee, you think negative in the real world, but it's not negative.
Yep.
The glee club, and I go, "Oh, I'm not joining that."
Oh my gosh, which reminds me, do you remember the It's Got Nothing to Do with Me club?
Do I remember it? I was a member.
Maybe we talked about this more recently. I had just forgotten all about it. Where it's like if you were like nonchalant or, something was happening and you were like, whatever, water off a duck's back, you got assigned to the It's Got Nothing to Do with Me club. The
Yeah.
aloof, elite, like all
And you
of your,
didn't even
yeah,
you didn't even have to do anything to get assigned to that stupid thing, you know? I got
no.
assigned, and you're supposed to do all-night amends through the night, and you're supposed to do an essay of, like, 300 words or more of why nothing has anything to do with you. Um, you have to, like, do conditions, you have to do all this stuff in order to get approved to get out of the "It's Got Nothing to Do with Me" club.
Yeah,
Yeah.
now
Oh, yeah.
now now that almost feels like a creative writing assignment in retrospect. Like I would love to write 300 words about why it's got nothing to do with me. I would actually revel in that assignment. I would cherish every word. I would make every word count. In the words of Strunk and White, omit needless words. I would make every one of those 300 words pack a punch.
Hey, Claire, you're in Glee.
Okay. If you say so.
Oh, that would be so funny. That would be so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So that was the word of the week. Yes. Okay, here's a quote of the week that you picked, Claire. Go ahead and read that.
Yes, quote of the week. It is only when we take chances when our lives improve. The initial and the most difficult risk that we need to take is to become honest. Walter Anderson. And so, Amy, the reason I really appreciated that quote is because of the honesty piece. Like when, obviously for 30 years in Scientology, I tried to convince myself, oh, I'm doing the greatest good for the greatest number of dynamics. I'm saving the planet. I'm doing what is right. And, at the end of the day, I was like, okay, it's time for a wake up call.
Oh boy.
What's really going on here? And what am I contributing to? And what am I doing here? And, that sometimes that can be really tough to kind of honestly reflect on what you've been pouring your life force into. And yeah, it's, but it's never too late.
No. And you give your loyalty to something, it's hard to take it back,
Yeah.
especially when you're shamed if you do, and
Yeah.
everything that gets attached to that and, all the people that you know and that you were comrades with and you're betraying everything that you know. It's really super hard. You have to put your integrity above all of that. And I remember when I was standing in the rehabilitation project force, surprise, and I was in Clearwater, looking over the fence at all the cars driving like toward the beach. Okay. I hadn't been to the beach in 15 years or more or
Yeah.
something like that,
Yeah.
and wondering like, what's their day going to be like and what are they going to do tonight? And they're going to go to the beach. And I'm sitting here behind fences being punished. And I'm constantly always being punished in Scientology, just always. I think everyone really was.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't go to the RPF as many times as I did, but they definitely got punished all the time with justice and lower conditions and deck work and, you know, all these wonderful things that we're going to talk about tonight, which is
Right.
fun. Mhm. Oh,
uh,
so that was a wonderful quote. So here is
yes.
comment, and I put in parentheses S because I picked two of them because I couldn't pick between these two which one I
Nice.
like the most.
Nice. That's
Okay, here's
awesome.
the first. Now, so these are comments of the week, and the people who won comments of the week, you get to pick what you want. I don't know if you want my book or if you want Claire's merchandise or Mark's book or whatever. So you're gonna have to write to us and let us know what you want. But two people won the comment of the week this week. Here we go. So Asho AL Craft 4404. It says, Claire and Amy, thank you both for your honesty and humor. I know I speak for many of us when I say you are helping us overcome our own trauma. We may not have been in Scientology, but we can relate to your stories of learning things decades later than others. I'm working on what Claire referenced about how to live with downtime. What on earth are we supposed to do with all these extra hours now that we're not living our before lives? It is a blessing to us to have your courage and wisdom to guide us and your perspective and humor to let us know that we can overcome and that one day we can laugh. I can speak for anyone else. I can't speak for anyone else on this part, but I know I will make it my mission to follow your examples, focus on healing myself, and then use the compassion gained from experience to help others heal. Thank you for sharing yourselves with us. Posted this on both channels because I want you both to see how much your work means beyond Scientology. I
Oh,
mean, how
that's
nice, how nice
amazing.
is that? How nice is that?
Amazing.
Yeah, so Asho AL Craft 4404. Thank you. That is so beautiful. It touched my heart, and I'm sure Claire's now that she's seen that too.
Yes, completely.
And you get a book or whatever your choice is for
Yes.
that. Okay. And I'm switching into my reading glasses because that was a struggle. Here we go. Here's the
Okay.
next one. Oh, this one's a little bigger. Oh my gosh. This is
That's
the
the
same
same one.
person.
Yes.
No, it isn't.
Yes, it
Oh, is it?
is.
Did I do the same one?
You may have. It was that good of a comment that, it's okay
Whoops.
to do it twice.
Oh no, no. I missed. You know what I did is I did two. Oh, dang it. Okay, I'm
It's
going to
okay.
tell you who the other person is because I have
Okay.
it here.
Okay.
1 second.
It's
Because
all
that
good.
is too.
You know what?
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
all human and none of us are perfect. I am perfectly inhuman.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so that one we did. Okay, and now what's this one? Okay. Yeah. Okay, so this one is at Anne Eastaway. So it's
Oh, okay.
ANNE Eastaway
Let's take this other comment
2311.
off then.
Okay. You expecting me to do more than one thing at a time?
I am. I know I'm
Okay,
expecting
hold
you to
on, hold on.
walk and chew gum, Amy. I'm so sorry. That's an inside
Okay.
joke that only you and I understand, by the way.
No, other people know about that.
Okay,
Okay,
great.
so this is, Anne Eastaway, 2311, so I hope you're watching, but I'm just gonna read it out loud, okay?
Yep.
So it says, "Thank you, Amy. I'm so glad you and Matt were able to escape this cult and have managed to build a successful life for yourselves. You are amazing and a great example to others that life on the outside is okay and not to be feared. From what you have said on your channel, the only adversities that you faced afterwards was the insane, incessant fair gaming that you experienced from Scientology and their employed PIs. Now, because of your bravery in telling of your experiences and the hard work and bravery of others such as Claire and Mark Headley, Jackson, Aaron Smith Levin, Mark Fisher, etc., way too many to name, you have shown others that are still in that there is a way to make a successful life outside of Scientology. The people I have mentioned above, plus so many more, have educated those who were never in about the abuses within Scientology and the fair gaming techniques employed against SPs. Therefore, people on the outside are more educated and informed as to what you have experienced. There is so much support out there for the Aftermath Foundation so that it can assist ex-SO members, SEERG members, who need assistance to start over. Thank you for all that you have done and continue to do to help ex-members."
That's
I love
amazing.
that. Yeah, I love it because it touches, excuse me.
Oh, and
It touch,
Anne Eastaway is in the comments. I just saw.
oh,
Says I
really?
am
Oh,
watching.
good.
Thank you so much for picking my comment.
Oh,
Yay.
lovely, wonderful. And I love that just because, I mean, it touches about upon the strength and that there isn't anything to fear and that there's a whole community of people who understand and and everything like that. So thank you for that wonderful comment, and just let us know what you would like as your reward for that. That was wonderful.
Yes.
Okay, so now this is something new this week that Claire sent me. Viewer
Yay.
photos of the week.
Yes.
Okay,
I
so
just love it when we receive input and we get to share it. I think people enjoy it. So,
yes. Okay, well, you get to talk about this one. Here it comes.
all right. So, let's see here. Okay. So, hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the email real quick because this person sent us this email and so this picture and said we could share it. And I think she said they had lumberjack uniform,
Yes.
lumberjack costumes on a cruise.
Right, right.
And my favorite part was, so if you zoom in on the hat, she has the BFG hat. And somebody on the
That's good.
cruise was like, I love your outfit, except for the hat.
Yeah, that's because they don't know how amazing BFG is.
Yeah. Or they were, like, or they did know and they didn't like it.
No, they didn't, because you have to love it.
Yeah, I know. It was pretty
That's for
funny.
sure. Absolutely.
Anyway, thank you for
Okay.
sharing that picture with us.
Yes, and here's the next one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. So this was amazing. So hold on. Let me see if I can find the YouTube name. So this was a funny one where the YouTube username, hold on. I don't want to mess it up and misspeak. Either way, This is somebody that when Mark and I were doing a live several months ago, was like, "Oh, I need a bobblehead because I'm going on a cruise." Well, it was a work cruise, and Mark was a little ornery as he is, and he was like, "Oh yeah, because you totally need a free bobblehead when you're going on a cruise." Um, anyway, Goldie and I were like, "We'll track this person down and get them a bobblehead. It's okay. Don't listen to Mark. He's not the
Mhm.
boss here. He's not the boss of me."
No.
Anyway, so these pictures are a result of that. I think the name was Chow Young Smut. Chow Young Smut, maybe.
Something like that.
Oh no, I probably butchered that. I'm sorry. Anyway, this person, okay, so that's the first picture. There's Bobble Mike at the free
I
wins.
didn't do all of them, but I did
But
did
this
this
is
one.
my favorite. This is my
Yeah.
favorite. This one right here. Because look,
Mhm.
you've got the free wins, and then right next to it on the right, you have Carnival. Choose fun.
Yes, choose fun. Choose prison or choose fun.
Choose slavery or choose fun. Let me tell you, I've been
Yeah.
on both free wins and Carnival. I would choose Carnival any day of the week.
That's right. I've been on both too. It was way better. I didn't have to go into the bilges on the Carnival.
Yeah, right? I know. You didn't have to do anything actually.
No. Yeah. I hung out playing cards with my in-laws. It was
Yeah.
very pleasurable.
Yeah. We've done
Oh,
cruises almost every year with our family and oh, whoopsies. Um and with our family of choice, you know, our
yeah.
kids have become cousins, like with, many of the kids in the SPTV family community. So we have many treasured memories, and I really give a shout out to Mike for that. Team Mike,
Hey,
because he
Mike.
is the one that in 2014 or thereabouts kind of planted the seed in my head, like, you know what, family of choice, that our kids are going to grow up together, and they have, and they're best of
Yeah.
friends, and I just absolutely love it. So
Yeah. That's
it's
fabulous.
amazing. You know
That's
what, life is doesn't always, when life gives you lemons, make lemonade. That's the perfect example.
yeah. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And so I just want to do this plug, which is send in your pictures, your quotes, your requests for word of the week so they can be included in future broadcasts. You can send it to either Amy at scoby-publishing.com or Claire at blownforgood.com. Either way, it'll get to the week in review. And yeah, I love the contribution from everybody. So with the
Yes.
pictures, and I've got other quotes of the week from people too, which are really good. So we'll I love those. So keep sending and contributing to that, and we'll include it in our next broadcasts,
Yes.
upcoming broadcasts. Okay, so time for show and tell.
Okay, we're
You
ready.
go.
So
Yeah.
again, shout out to Dragonfish Handmade Goods. Hold on, let me get my act together here.
Yeah, that's
Dragonfish
nice.
Handmade Goods. So I received this.
That is so awesome.
So it's
Look at that.
custom fabric combining all the SPTV logos, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Dragonfish Handmade Goods, so cool. And so look, it's like you see that? It's a zipper
Yeah.
pouch. So
Yeah.
I decided to go a little further with this and make this
Mhm.
an SPTV creator survival kit. You want to see what's inside?
Yeah, what's in there?
Okay, so first of all, I have my phone. There you go.
That's a survival kit
Because
item.
you never know. You need to be ready to film anything. That's why that's
Yes.
SPTV creator survival kit item number 1. Always be ready.
Mhm.
Don't ever be caught off guard. My only regret is the time I was caught off guard. The one time, I might add.
Oh
The
god,
one time.
really?
Yep.
Yeah.
And okay, so next, for those pesky PIs, I have pepper spray.
Mace.
You know,
Mace their
just
face, mace their
keep
face.
yourself safe, people. Keep yourself safe. And then, just for fun and giggles, I have this, some comfy socks.
Yes. What
Do you
does it
see what
say?
that says?
That definitely needs to be in there.
And last but not least, I have poopery. You know why?
Oh, yeah, yeah, before you go. Yeah,
Because
yeah. You
OSA
always have to
smells
have
like
it.
poo. That's why that's part of the
That's right.
survival kit, folks. There you
Okay,
go.
good. Awesome. Wow, what a fun little kit.
Thanks for bearing with me there.
Yeah, no, that's perfect. I love that kind of stuff, and plus your earrings too, which are completely amazing.
Yep.
And, last week I showed you my, honey drop, um, bee necklace and earrings, right? And,
Yes.
so this week I wanted to show you, but I don't wanna get up and go get it, but you can see right where my finger is pointing.
Yep,
What is
kind
my
of.
problem?
It's
I
okay.
can't even
It's a coordination issue. I think we all have that in our programming because, I've
I'm
seen it
telling
a
you.
lot happen. Like, wait, where?
I I was not given the left and right and directional genes.
Yeah, I already told you I have the directional programming issues default.
Yeah, I want you to go west. Okay.
Like,
I'll see you
seriously,
next
Mark,
year.
why do you have to be so mean? Don't tell me to go west. What kind of
Oh.
human says that to another person?
Oh, tell me about it. Anyway, so
Ah,
what I'm showing you here is it's a beautifully framed picture of, my 2 dogs, Mango and
oh,
Kiwi.
nice.
Yes, and it has their name on it and everything like that, and that's from Linda, so thank you so much, Linda. I already sent her a nice little thank you, and, she always sends me these cute little things, and she's just amazing anyway. A big, big fan, and I love her.
Nice.
Um, yes, so the next thing is before we start our topic of the week, please like this video and subscribe to both channels at Queen BSP and Blown for Good. So if everybody's over on Claire's channel, can you step over for a second to my little channel?
To your
Okay.
little channel. Stop it. We're all growing.
And give it a like and thumbs up and subscribe. That way
Nice.
you get notifications of everything coming up, and it also helps because what happens is when there's activity like the liking and subscribing and everything, it shoves our videos out to more people, and it gets our information in front of more people to see and gets the word out. So, as a community, that's what I need and want. So. That's
Yeah.
my non-existence formula to you. Find out what's needed and wanted.
So I'll be more blunt than that.
Okay.
Mark has been gone for a while. He's almost home. He's about to land back in Denver, Colorado in about 20 minutes, which is going to be
Oh boy.
amazing. I'm going to be very grateful to have him home. He has one more trip coming up next week, but after that, we're free and clear for a while. So
Oh, so
Mr.
good.
Mark Headley, the Mr. Blown for Good will be back, but we are 600 shy of hitting our 40,000 subscriber mark. So I already
Oh,
told Mark we are going to do a live celebration either on Thursday or Saturday, depending on when we hit that marker. So it will be fun
nice.
and it will be
Yes.
a good entertaining time, no doubt about that. So anyway,
Oh, that's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Congratulations on that.
thank
And
you.
it'll be fun to have Mark back too. I was hoping he would be back in time to be on this broadcast because the subject that we have is going to
I
be so
know,
interesting.
I know.
But we'll get him. We'll get him. And we'll get Matt on too.
Yeah.
Um, so that was all on that. So the topic of the week this week is weird Sea Org practices.
Yes.
I mean, mhm. I was
Mhm.
thinking I mean, I got 4 pages here, single space, and, Matt and I sat down and we were like just, oh, left, right, and center, and then we were thinking, the question is, what wasn't crazy about the place? I
Right.
mean, like, because it's not very much that wasn't crazy.
Yep.
Um, but anyway, so I made a long list and it's in no particular sequence. I just as it came into my brain, I typed it down. So I'm going to
Nice.
go ahead and just take up the first one and we'll see how far we get, and we can do additional episodes, and we can also take up questions about this kind of stuff that we're going to take up too, because that'll be pretty interesting what people have to say about it.
Absolutely.
Okay, are you ready? You haven't seen my list yet.
I know I haven't. I'm excited.
Okay. Well, and then I'm sure you've got a ton too, but maybe they're on this list.
Yep.
So, one of the stupid things that is done in the Sea Org is the look in, listen in, talk in systems into people's counseling sessions.
Mhm.
And you're supposed to train an auditor so that they're able to handle any situation in a session. But in the meantime, you got cameras on, you got 5 people in the booth watching the stupid session. You have a ear thing piece in the auditor's ear with somebody telling, say this, say that, don't ask this, don't ask that, ask them this question. So not only are they looking in on your session and listening to everything being said, they're also talking to the auditor. And sometimes you can even hear through the stupid earpiece what
That's
the person is saying. So
yes,
talk
that's what
about
I was gonna
not
say. That's what I was gonna say. I've had one of those earpieces, like, I have an earpiece right now, and if you're sitting across from me, they're like, what's that?" And then you look up at the person and you're like, "Yep, you heard it. It came out
yeah,
from my ear."
they want to
There's
know
no
what that is.
there's no secret. You heard it. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
So I don't know if that has like filtered out of the Sea Org into all organizations around the world, but
It has.
Scientologists, that is really sick because
Mhm.
you don't have any privacy in your confessionals. Um, Confessionals are just auditing, you don't have any privacy. And you're supposed to be telling your personal things that you want to resolve with yourself, and you have no confidentiality. Anything that I said in Scientology was written down, taken notes, used against me. Okay?
Yep.
So the asses. So don't think that you're any of your stuff is sacred, because it's not.
Yeah, and not only so just logistically. So aside from what was wrong with the very practice of what you're talking about, I'd
Mhm.
like to just comment as someone who had one of those earpieces in my ear many times.
You
Do you
did?
know I did. Do you know how many times they electrocuted me?
No. Really?
Yes.
What kind of funky equipment was
It
that?
was so funky. So the system, at least at the base, in Gilman Hot Springs, California, was such that it was a talk-in system. So you would have a button and you would push like, ask this question or ask that question. And yeah, you're supposed to be the person completely responsible for helping the other person in front of you. And yet now you have somebody speaking into your ear, and try maintaining a straight countenance with that stuff going
For
on.
real.
That's like
Yeah, while you're
just
getting shocked in your head.
yeah.
Get your TRs in, Claire, get your TRs in, come on.
Like
You're getting
I think it wasn't grounded properly. I don't even know. I
Oh my
don't even
god.
know.
Oh my god.
It
That
was
would
just
be
it was
horrendous.
really nightmarish. And then on top
Yeah.
of that, factor in the very little sleep I'd had. Like the amount of times, I think I told you this
You're
before.
getting
The
electric
amount of times
shocks
I would dig my nails into my palm right there with like
just to stay awake.
bleeding just to stay awake. Yeah, it was really bad.
And you had to be auditing somebody else, and you had to stay awake, and meantime, they're falling asleep because they never slept.
Yeah.
Oh, but anyway, I hate that whole system because it's not a church. If you have to have a listen in, talk in, look in, you
Yeah,
know,
it's the Gestapo, not a church.
yeah, buzz in so that,
Yep.
do this, do that.
Yep.
I mean, what kind of a counselor are you if you have to have some executive, it's usually an executive, standing out there saying, I want the goods? Oh
Yeah.
God. Yes.
Yep.
So that was one of them.
Yep.
How about no phone or internet access? So you can't call 911. It gets routed to security.
Yeah.
And 20 years. Don't tell me that I could call 911. I could not call
No.
911. And I had no phone to be able
Right.
to even do that anyway, you know?
Yeah,
And the
so
internal phone system went straight to security.
yeah, did you have a Nextel radio phone at any
No.
point? Yeah, so I did, and the reason I bring it up is because I want to highlight the point that it was not my phone.
Yeah.
It was in their name. So at any time, Scientology could get the phone records, which they did after Mark escaped. They got the phone records and they were like, "Aha, we got you. You've been trying to call Mark." I'm like, "Well, Jenny Linson told me that David Miscavige ordered Mark be brought back. So why wouldn't I be calling Mark?"
Right. Yeah. You were planning to take off with him, but aside from that,
Yeah, no, well, that was beside the point. That was neither here nor there.
no, that was
You
perfect
say
though.
potato,
Yeah, you
I
had
say
a
patata. Whatever.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, did I ever we had
We did
beepers
get
for
very
the
skilled at having very good answers.
Yeah, 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 that's for sure. But you know what we did have? Way
Mhm.
past the time when we should have had them? Beepers.
Oh my
Did
god. I know. Did you know that, Bob Ferris had a beeper, had a pager in his welfare check?
No,
He
he
did.
did not. They're still using beepers from
And he had a
1982?
mask, yeah, and he was wearing a mask for COVID because,
Yeah, or wearing a mask because it wasn't him?
Oh, Goldie just said I leaked myself as a UK person. I said a word wrong. Now I'm gonna completely introvert and be like, "I can't say that word."
What was the word?
Records.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Mark
yeah.
has a list.
You say
Mark has a list.
records.
No, it's records. It has an O, honey.
Yeah, but you don't say "ords."
That's kind of what the whole purpose of the alphabet.
Oh, I'll show you words that you say that don't do that.
Okay. All right.
Sasquatchian, Sasquatchian.
Okay, now that's not fair. I already admitted that that was like a brain fart transferring from
So many people have said that you said it right, and then so many said it
I
was
know,
wrong. I don't
which
even
just
know.
makes it even more confusing. I'm like, I
It
feel
does.
so confused. I feel like I
Yeah,
need to
yeah.
go
We're
there
not gonna
and
say it anymore, ever.
no, I know. Like I could give you a list. Like my kids, even Mark has trained them, so they'll be like, anytime I say something wrong, they'll be like, aluminium. I'm like,
Yeah,
come on. Any wannabe American knows you say aluminum.
that's right.
Oh gosh. Anyway.
Okay, so here's the next one, which is security listens in on all phone calls and opens and reads all mail, incoming and outgoing. The
Yep.
most ethical group on the planet is the Sea Organization, supposedly, right? And they can't be trusted to communicate with anyone.
Yep.
How's that for the stupidest thing in the world?
It is. It is. It's insane. I know when you think about that, you couldn't even send a a note to your mother saying, "Hey mom, happy birthday," without somebody else reading that. I mean,
Mhm.
that's beyond supermax prison.
Yeah, I mean, you couldn't seal anything, because otherwise it'll be noticed that it's ripped open by security. So you're not supposed to seal it, and it's got to go through the channels and through security
Yep.
to be able to get off the base. And also, first of all, you have to write a completed staff work proposal through channels and get approval to make a phone call. And then there has to be somebody who acts as security on the phone with you to listen to everything you say.
Yep. So
This is when you're in.
should we break down the insanity of completed staff work for a moment?
Yeah, that's definitely on the list, so we might as well, but let me
So
just finish
oh
my
yeah, yeah,
thought
yeah.
1 second, which
Okay.
is, I could be the highest executive in the universe in Scientology and have to have a security guard on the phone listening in on what I'm saying, to
Yep.
make sure that I'm not being out security, that I'm not festering some sort of a situation with, wogs or whatever, and it's just unbelievable when I think of it as a normal person and not an insider prisoner.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So during the time that I was number 3 in Religious Technology Center, I would write a completed staff work to be able to call my mother on her birthday that would say, "Situation, I need to call my mother for her birthday. Data, it's my mother's birthday on August 31st. It would create good public relations for Scientology if I would call her to say happy birthday. My mother is a Scientologist in good standing. In fact, she just reached OT5. So she's good. She's on the good list.
Yes.
Solution, approve that I call my mother and say happy birthday, mom.
This is
This is
okay.
okay. And
With a
then
line.
approved line, disapproved line.
And then they get to decide,
Yeah.
is Claire, is she like on the naughty list right now? Disapproved. Reject.
Yeah, and the crazy part is there doesn't even have to be a reason for it to be disapproved,
No,
right?
exactly.
It's
Doesn't have to
not
be a
like
reason.
there's no recourse, there's no nothing. It's just like, disapproved.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy.
I got a lot of upset on that kind of stuff.
Do you know?
Yeah, like for example, like I did, I showed the footage of my dad on A&E where he's talking about even when he had a heart attack, I wasn't allowed to come and see him, right? Because I
Yeah.
was told that I had to bring a security guard and pay for a security guard to go, and I didn't have any money. And I'm just going to bring a security guard to my dad's house when he had a heart attack? Was he going to stay in the room with me? What the hell?
Yeah.
How am I going to explain this? Because these guys are just control freak, insane prison camp. Anyway.
Yep.
Yeah, you know what? The next thing I have on here is CSW, complete staff work for everything, even personal. Make a phone call, just like you said. Have a day off. Get married. Getting married requires the captain's approval.
Yes.
And so if you want to get married, you have to write a CSW, and it's got to go through all of your seniors up to the captain and get the captain's approval. And Matt was telling me when he got married, Debbie Cook was the captain of the Flag Service Organization. He had to send and he was in Treasury as the Treasury Secretary, and Ad Council Chairman, which is Ad Council is all the divisions have somebody over them, and he was chairman of that. So she kept trying to get all of the gross divisional statistics of the entire organization 100% uptrending in a week, and couldn't get it done for like a year solid. And it was just a constant campaign, and she was getting in trouble for never getting it done. So she disapproved Matt's CSW when he said that he wanted to get married, saying, get all the GDSs up, in the entire organization before I'll approve it. That week, he got them all up. And then she said, F you, that all you care about is getting married. Instead of saying, congratulations, you couldn't get it done, but I did.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, she did approve for him to go and get married because she had to keep to her agreement.
Right.
But yeah, they have to CSW like to do anything,
Yeah.
I mean, I had to CSW David Miscavige to get these campaign bar looking tags that were just degraded little tags and name calling that he would make us run around on our uniform and wear in all these neon colors. I had to write a CSW to him of how I got my hat back and I'm a responsible person so I can take these damn tags off,
Yeah.
And it was rejected like a couple times, and finally I got it approved to take it off. But
yeah. The amount of campaigns that he did to degrade and humiliate people was literally mind-blowing. Like there's just nothing like that out here in the real world. Nothing.
Nothing like it.
Absolutely nothing.
He made the musicians walk around. I didn't see it, but I was told he made the musicians walk around with chains. So people knew that they were basically prisoners, just walk around with chains around the whole base, Just, I could list a ton of those things of his stupid, degrading activities. But anyway, that's special to David Miscavige and his psychosis.
Yep.
Okay, so here's something that's weird in the Sea Org that you get married to someone after knowing them for a few weeks. You know,
Yeah.
because you can have no physical contact,
Yep.
until you're married, and so the number of marriages and divorces is so high in the Sea Org, just like, and they're supposed to be the authorities on relationships and communication and everything. It's such a joke.
Yeah, Mark and
Um,
I made a list one time back in
you
like
did.
2006 or 7. We posted it on OCMB, which was Xenu.net. Um, and we listed all the divorces, and it was a long list.
Oh my god.
We're
And
like,
the other
"Oh
thing,
yeah,
this
you've got the solutions to the universe.
exactly.
You've got the power to make everything work, and yet look at all the divorces you're responsible for."
Mhm. Yep.
So
So
mu
the
so
thing
much
that's
for marriage
interesting is,
counseling.
yeah, marriage counseling or any auditing or any, OT or whatever, your life is a disaster in the Sea Org.
Yep.
But part of this is that a lot of the women would keep their maiden names sometimes because they would change it so often. And whenever they changed it, all of their PC folders had to change, all of their ethics folders, their personnel folders, all these things that you carry around like baggage from place to place, all had to change constantly because they kept changing their last name.
Yeah, the amount of there were a few people at the headquarters where we worked that I was shocked how many times they'd been married, like 5, 6 times, and I was like, "Wow,
Really.
what the heck? That's crazy." Like, Barbara Mace. Barbara Mace
She
she
was
had
married
been
to Jim Mortland, who
she
I was married to.
was?
Mhm.
But she was
Did you
also
not?
married wasn't she also married to
Clark.
Clark Morton?
Yep,
So
Clark
she was
Morton.
Barbara Mortland, Barbara Morton, Barbara Mace,
Yep.
and at least 2
Marcus,
others, I think.
yeah, I think one that starts with an S. But yeah, yeah, she was married to all those people. Uh,
Oh, that's
but
crazy.
there's a lot of them like that. Like KK. She
Yes.
had the name KK from Karen Kamen. She was married to Rick Kamen, and then she married Kenny Siebold, and then she was married to
Ivano
I
Priori.
Ivano Priori, and then she
Yep.
was married to Bruce Wagner. But anyway, so so that whole thing is weird. It's
Yep.
weird in the Sea Org because they promote how they're the authorities on the subject and they're just complete crap.
Yep.
Yeah. The next one is a spouse has absolutely no having a spouse has no importance in the Sea Org at all. Like people get transferred with no regard to their partner,
Yep.
and like like my husband David was sent to run Mexico. Okay. I'm up in, in Hemet, and he's in Mexico for years. I mean, it's just ridiculous. It just doesn't have anything to do with anything. So,
Yeah. It's
it's what
literally
the group needs.
yeah. And it's almost intentionally con it's it's almost intentionally planned to drive you apart.
Mhm.
Like, it's
That's
not
a
even just
Miscavige thing
it's just
because
it's not peripheral, it's intentional
mm-mm. Mhm.
because
Because
yeah.
yeah,
I was
we're on
gonna
the
say,
same bandwagon.
yeah, no, completely. So Mark and I we were married in August 1992, and that New Year's event, we ran into David Miscavige, and he was like, "Oh, are you brother and sister or husband and wife?" And we're just like, "What the heck? Who says that?"
It was
Like,
weird.
it was just so bizarre. Anyway,
Were you holding hands?
well, yeah, we were there together. We're
Yeah,
like, "Why would you think
exactly.
we're a brother and sister? Like, what the heck? What kinda whatever."
Yeah.
Either way, then in 1993, Mark was sent to Clearwater for like 6 to 8 months. Then in 1994, he was sent to Denmark for 6
Really?
months. And then
6 months in Denmark.
yes, he was installing the look listening system at
Oh, yeah. Look,
OSH
listen, talk,
UK.
and
Yes, what we were just talking about. That's what's crazy. And anyway, and then in March 1996 is when I was promoted into Religious Technology Center, and then I was sent to Clearwater for a few weeks.
uh-oh.
and I was there until January the following year.
Ugh.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it really has. And then also, David Miscavige had all issued all these orders about commingling, and what
Yep.
that meant is if you had, like, if I was in Commonwealth Messenger Org International and my husband was in gold, that meant that we were commingling between organizations, even though we were on the same property, because that would mean that there would be security breaches because of what you hear and know and learn in CMON. You don't want it spread into gold or whatever. So he was discouraging commingling, and you discourage that by getting people to get divorced.
Yeah.
And there was a
So,
whole dispatch and program on that.
yeah. So he didn't call it commingling at the RTC level. He called it sleeping with the enemy.
Oh, if you're
So,
not in
yeah,
RTC, you're sleeping
you're
with the
married
enemy.
to somebody in this organization who has also signed a billion-year contract, and yet because they're in a lower organization than you, you need to divorce them because otherwise you're sleeping with the enemy.
I mean, it's okay. So, like, Warren McShane, who's a hitman for David Miscavige,
Yep.
gets a divorce from Marcy McShane. They were high school sweethearts, had
Yep.
kids in the Sea Org at the Int base, been married for 1,000 years, and
And
he's in
and he
RTC.
did. And he did. And do you know the only reason that they're still married to this day
Mm-mm.
is because we brought this up in deposition in our lawsuit saying, "No, no, you force these people to divorce." And they're like, "No, no, 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 no. They're not divorced. They're back
Mhm.
together."
Right.
It's
I'm
it
glad if that's true.
it is that's what
That
I
they are.
heard. Yep. That's
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
heard.
Right, because that was one example that I thought, but there's a lot of examples, you know.
There are many,
Um,
many examples. Like Lucia
mhm.
Radstrom was married to Jesse Radstrom. Lucia was
Reports
the
officer.
yeah, the reports officer in Religious Technology Center,
Yeah.
and she was made to divorce Jesse. Another example was Carol Burke, who was married to Thomas Burke.
Totally. For
Yep,
years.
yep. There are many examples, so it's
Oh,
not
yeah.
there's no lack of examples. It's just a matter of like, hey, what's
You
going
know, and
on?
there's like one time I'm in a meeting and David Miscavige comes in, "What's happening with offloading Jim Mortland?" And I'm like, "Does he know that my name is Amy Mortland and that's my husband?" And, he's just a cold ass.
Yeah, no, he
Anyway.
knows full well. He did the same to Mark with Mark's mother, who had been on the RPF on the rehabilitation project force in Clearwater, Florida. And in a meeting at the base, he said, "Oh, can you believe this blonde idiot? Like she's been on the rehabilitation project force for no good reason, and she just puts up with it." Anyway, he dropped enough hints that at the end of the meeting, Mark went to some of the executives that were there, like Angie Blankenship, whose silence is criminal, and said he was talking about his mom. My mom, wasn't he? And she was like, "Yep."
Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
He's just
How
trying to get a
how does
rise
it
out of
feel,
him.
Angie, to indulge
Mhm.
criminals and sit there silently paid off? How does
Oh,
that
yeah.
feel?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah,
I'd like to know.
I got my little list, and it's growing of
Yeah.
missing executives and silent witnesses,
Yeah, like
and
Tommy Davis and
she's
Angie
on it.
Blankenship are the top of my list.
Mhm. Yeah. Greg and Debbie Hughes, hello, they were in the watchdog committee,
Oh, yeah.
and,
Do you know, by
I
the
mean,
way, let's just pause for a moment. Do you know that the
yeah.
only reason Greg and Debbie are out is because we talked to somebody and said it was during the time that the whole Anderson Cooper History of Violence show was happening. And we said, you know what, just go to Anderson Cooper and tell them that Greg and Debbie are being held, that Debbie's diabetic, and then tell Scientology, release them or it's going to be on this show.
Yep,
And
yep, yep.
thus they have been released.
Whoa. Congratulations, Claire, for doing that. Even though they're stupid and not speaking
I
out,
know.
which
I
they
know.
they have so much information, and
Yep.
that they don't speak out, it just means they're complicit, like I like my little thing, where is it? Mhm. Um,
I liked your little
oh. But, it's where's my little wallpaper? It says, silence. Dang, it has this stupid thing covering it,
That's
like go
okay.
from one thing to another. Uh, it's taking its time.
Is it
But
Martin
anyway,
Luther King?
no, but silence in the
Oh,
face of injustice is complicity with the abuser. I think that's
oh,
word for word, even though I don't see it. But yeah. Um,
nice.
and so complicity, yeah. My list is getting bigger too. And I'm gonna call these people out
Yep,
because it's actually really super, super disgusting.
it is.
Makes
It
me mad.
absolutely is.
Yeah. What gives them the right to just go slink off when they were part of the criminal activity? You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yep.
They need to be part of the solution now.
Yep.
Ugh, okay.
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, and just speaking of spouses, you're supposed to rat out your spouse.
Yep.
Snitch culture on your spouse. Knowledge reports, right,
Yeah.
Claire?
I know. I know. I mean, the amount of times that I've had to, that I've talked about my escape from that property, and people are just like, "So wait a minute. Mark left, but surely you talked. Surely you knew he was planning to escape." I'm like, "No, I had not a single clue. I wish I would have had a clue." I'm like, be like, "Please just tell me to shut up and not turn you in and just stick me in your suitcase, please, 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 please." That would have been, I don't know.
I know,
What
I
am I
know.
gonna
You
say?
don't.
Things happen
Okay,
for a reason. You can't turn
I
back
know.
time. And
Yeah,
I'm not gonna be ridiculous either and say like, well, I would never have turned my husband in, because that's not true. I
I know,
very well may have. I honestly can't say that I know how I would have responded had he told
I
me.
know.
I just don't know. But the problem is that the stakes were so high. Like
Yeah,
being and the reason I forgave Mark for leaving me behind is because he said, "I didn't want to put you on the spot to choose between your family and me." I'm like, "Okay, I get that." And what can I say? I'm not going to lie.
I know,
I understand that.
I know.
It's just it's insanity.
I mean, so I was married to Jim Mortland for 17 years, and I needed to get out of there. And so I was planning my escape. I didn't tell him a single thing about it. I told him, nothing about
Yeah.
it. And because that's what happens is you are mandated to snitch and to
Yep.
report, and if you don't, then you get the same penalties. And if I was going to get declared on my way out, then he would get declared, and so it just wasn't worth it. I didn't know
Yep.
how he would react, because I didn't know him really. I was married 17 years, and how much do you
Right, and isn't that kind of heartbreaking in and of itself? Like, we didn't know. You didn't know how somebody you'd been married to for 17 years would react
Yeah,
if you said, "I wanna
yeah,
leave."
yeah.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
that's really tough. I
yeah.
mean, set aside the insanity that we know about Scientology, in any other circumstance, you'd be like, "What?
I know.
Are you kidding me?"
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to fathom. And after I got out and after he was out and he was remarried, I was remarried, I told him, I said, "The only reason I didn't tell you is because I was trying to leave and it would put you in the worst position ever." And he said, "Well, I'm glad to know that it wasn't something I did." Of course not. We never had one fight in 17 years, probably because we never saw each other. But so it wasn't a bad relationship at all. It's just I needed to get out of there, and he was in
Yeah.
gold, so he wasn't experiencing what I was experiencing in Int with David Miscavige. Well, he had his own experiences with David Miscavige constantly, but
He did.
but,
He was like he was the one of the top executives when I worked in, the qualifications, the staff training area.
yeah,
He
yeah,
was
he was always put
somebody.
on the hot seat.
Oh my
He w
gosh. Yeah.
That's why I never saw him, but I was on the hot seat in a different organization.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. I'll have to talk to him one of these days because he did that live with, Janice, which was amazing.
Yeah.
I'll have to rack his brains on a few things.
Yeah.
Um,
Do
yeah,
a reflections episode.
yeah, that'd be something.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's a weird thing that happens in the Sea Org. Reading overts and withholds out at musters or making the person stand up and state what their overt or their withhold is, overt being a contra-survival act. I mean, how many times did people stand up at the base, like for the whole base briefing, stand up and say how they sabotaged something, how they did this or that? And Matt gave me an example of this, of like somebody had a day off and they went out on a boat. This is from Flag, right? And went out on a boat on their day off or whatever, and they masturbated. Okay. So they had to come up in front of the entire base briefing, which was like 900 staff, and tell everybody what he did. Okay. So he's up there explaining what he did with details, because you can't just give a generality. You're supposed to give specifics, right?
Yep.
And so I'm sure that every single person in the audience was thinking, I better not ever get caught, because I'm going to have to get up there and say the same thing,
Yep.
because it's just crazy that they would make. What kind of technology is that? What kind of church does that?
Yep.
900 people, go say your private little thing. Go say it to everybody.
Yeah.
And you couldn't look people in the eye after that. He
No.
would be walking around like the most ashamed. Scientology, you suck.
Yep.
Period.
Absolutely. I know.
Anyway, sorry.
It's
What
no
were you going to say?
forgiveness. It's about control and leverage. No, I was just going to say the example that Mark gives that relates to this that always kind of cracks me up. It's sad but funny at the same time, as Mark is great at, is the guy that was like, "Oh yeah, I was jerking off 50 times a day," and a few of the male staff members were like, "Wait a minute, can someone pull out a calculator? Like, how many times a day is that? Like, is that even humanly possible?"
That would mean like 3 times a minute.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's literally
And
like human humiliation at next level. It's really sad.
yeah, and it's like, because you're being made to like confess anything or anything, you just can't get away from it no matter what.
Yeah, and the other piece that I think it's important to bring up is that when people are interrogated under circumstances where they've had insufficient sleep, they're under incredible stress and other things. I think it's actually psychologically proven that they will admit to things they haven't done. It's like it's a psychological form of torture, actually.
I've totally done that.
Yeah, and so do you remember Ken Mortensen?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. So Ken Mortensen was somebody who had been at the headquarters where we worked for what, like 20 plus
The whole
years.
time I was there.
However long, a very long time. And and one time he was being interrogated by a 14-year-old security checker from Religious Technology Center. I can't remember if it was Chelsea Graves or Laura Dolan, but either
Probably
way,
Laura. She's
what's
terrible.
that? Laura
Probably
Dolan.
Laura.
Yeah. Yeah.
She
So
drove me
either
crazy.
way, Ken Mortensen was getting interrogated, and he confessed to having burned down the film lab that was on that property. And the reason Amy and I are laughing about this, people, to everyone here, is because the film lab has not
Standing
to this
there.
day been burnt down. And so
It is
he was like,
brick
"Well,
and stucco."
I burned down the film lab." And she said, "Oh, when was that?" Which is, when somebody confesses a crime, you go, "When was that? Where was that?
Where was it?
Is that all of the overt? How did you justify it?" She just went into the whole pattern
Who
of
missed
like,
it?
yeah,
Who else missed it?
what did that person do to make you
wonder whether or not they
knew? Anyway,
I
my
haven't thought of
gosh.
those lovely questions in a long time.
Yeah. Yeah, barf, right? Sorry
Barf.
to
Barf
trigger
material.
you.
No, it's okay. This is what we're doing. That's what we
Yeah.
do here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, let's see. Different subject, which is naval uniforms, rank insignia, and campaign bars.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how stupid is that?
Yeah.
It's a weird thing that a church does. And they say, in keeping with the tradition of the Sea Organization, which, had ships when L. Ron Hubbard was evading authorities, we're keeping in the sea or nautical crap, you know? And
Yeah.
we have brevet ranks for different posts and whatever. It's just like the whole thing is just super, super strange for
Yeah.
a church. It's just dumb and it needs to stop.
Yeah, and
And
it's weird. It's just actually I'll go one step further. I think it's criminal to imitate the Navy and wherever else Hubbard took those things from, because those are
yeah,
people who really do service and commit their lives. And the amount of times that I was asked if I was part of the Salvation Army when I would be walking around in public places, a few rare times wearing uniform, was really like, what the heck? I'm like, I don't even know what the Salvation Army is. So no, I'm not part of that. Or like I'd be in a
not
store and they'd be like, "Oh, can you help me find this in my size?" I'll be like, "Sure." Sometimes I would just pretend like, whatever, it's just not worth the
yeah,
conversation. I'll just help them find what they
right.
need.
Oh my gosh.
Uh,
Anyway, it's super, super embarrassing. I can't stand it. And then the
yep,
other thing is like marching as if we're in the military. We would have like these left, left, about face, forward, march, left, left, and doing all this stupid, left face, right face, salute, all this stupid stuff, which is it's military again, and I don't know what they're trying to prove, you
yep,
know?
yep.
It's not a church.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
Anyway, that I thought was stupid.
It's this
And
weird
I had to do it so often.
it's this weird quasi. I had to run marching drills on all of the top executives several times, and I'm like, that must have
You
been the
probably
biggest
ran the ones
fattest
I'm talking
joke.
about, the ones
Right.
I'm
I may
complaining
have.
about.
I don't know. I may have. I know. Like out
Oh.
front of MCI
Yeah,
Massacre Canyon
yeah.
Inn. Yeah.
Yes.
Uh
Yep. Mhm.
oh
Yeah,
my
we had to do
goodness.
all that crap.
Yep.
And Matt tells stories about how at the Flag Land Base, everybody is at their birthing. They're all gotten up, in on Saturday morning, and they're supposed to be cleaning their rooms or whatever. And everybody's like hair is standing straight up. They're just wearing whatever, and they come and muster. Then they start doing about face. And everybody just looks like this ragtag, stupid, not even awake group, that's supposed to
Yep.
be cleaning their rooms. Anyway, the whole thing is stupid.
Yep. I
So
agree.
there you go.
Yep.
How
Yep.
about
Yep.
calling? Here's another, but it doesn't come from the military properly, but it's calling every single person that's senior to you, sir, no matter if they're a woman or a teenager. You
Right.
could have been there for a
Yeah.
100 years, total veteran with commander stripes, and then some little Chelsea whoever or Laura Dolan comes down, green behind the ears, comes down, thinking that they're everything in the universe, who've never gone to the RPF, have never done half the crap that after 20 years of putting up with everything. And I got hard nose. Okay, coming down and telling me what I have to do, and I'm supposed to call them sir.
Tell me
Hate
how
it.
you really feel, Amy.
I'm getting pretty beefed up about the stupidity that we put up with there. Oh no,
Oh
these
my
guys,
gosh.
and
I
they would
know.
come down with these, I'm a messenger, like I'm a Commodore's messenger, and you need to follow my orders. And I'm like, grow up first.
Yep. Yep.
But you
Absolutely.
couldn't say that. And then they'd get assigned things like ghosting somebody. Now, what ghosting, oh, that's a Scientology word versus a real word. Like
Yep.
when you ghost somebody, you kind of disappear in the real world, right? That's not like that in Scientology. In Scientology, when you ghost somebody, you attach yourself like Velcro and you write down, you know, 7:20 and 14 seconds, looked at computer, 7:20 and 15 seconds, stood up and started walking toward the bathroom, whatever, and just nonstop doing this as your shadow. And I had that done for so many hours, and I'd be like, I just felt like they're just oozing over my shoulder all the time. And I was just like, get away from me. How do you get anything done?
Yeah, no, and that was a weird form of degradation, humiliation of like, well, if you're not getting my orders done, then what are you doing? You must be up to no good. So this was like a 24/7 supervision to find out what no good you're up to, right?
That's totally what it was.
Yeah, I know. It's insane. It's
Yeah,
insane.
that's if you're not getting my orders done, then what are you getting done? This is exactly what was said,
Yep.
from David Miscavige, send his little henchmen, stupid people down to
Not
find
his
out
little
what it is
henchman.
that
He
you
was the little guy. They were the big people.
yeah. How many
Captain
hours
Davy was always the small one in the room.
yes. How many
Yep.
years of this stupid stuff? Okay, here's another stupid thing.
Yep.
So many musters, morning, study, lunch muster, dinner muster, briefing musters, meetings or announcements musters.
Yep.
Just muster, 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 account for your people, uniform inspection. You know, we're just mustering up all the time,
Yep.
constantly, standing in line at attention,
Yeah.
waiting for direction like little lemmings.
Yeah. Do you remember the amount of times that we'd be mustering in Gilman Hot Springs, California, in the middle of the summer, and people would literally pass out. They would get dehydrated
I
and like it was. I mean, they're lucky nothing serious happened from any of those because I remember a time in Religious Technology Center when there was a muster up at the RTC Villa. There were the three villas, the middle villa, whatever.
yeah.
Irene Brummer, who was one of David Miscavige's personal stewards, collapsed.
Mm,
And we had to move her into the RTC reception area, but her hands were locked like this because she was completely
mm.
dehydrated and
Dehydrated, I was gonna
had
say. Yeah.
extreme lack of like minerals and everything else. But in that case, it was so extreme that, and they rarely did this, but in this case, they did call 911 because she was catatonic, actually.
Oh,
Um,
wow.
and so an ambulance came and um, they were like, she just needs some water and here, do this, do this, do this. And she kind of came around. But for a while, they was like, what the heck is going on here? This is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, we had a lot of that on that base because we did a lot of all-nighters during the heat of the summer, and we would drink this stuff that we called panther piss, and it
Oh,
was I can't even get anywhere near something like that nowadays because it was just it was vinegar and honey and water,
apple
and
cider vinegar, right?
yeah, and it was
Yep.
it was supposedly refreshing you after your 15th night up in the desert heat.
Yep.
Uh, yeah, so
And
Panther
and
Fist.
let's not forget the only thing that tasted worse than panther piss was cow mag.
You know,
Like,
I
if
hate
my
cow
life
mag.
depended on it, I don't know, I'd have to contemplate that for a little bit before I
I
drink
hate
that.
it. I hate it. I did calcium and magnesium drink that they would make with vinegar so that it would absorb or something, supposedly. And
Yep.
so it was foul. And I was on the RPF. I was on the purification program, probably on the RPF too. But and
May as well been, who could have told the difference?
yeah, for 8 months, 8 straight months, 5 hours a day, and I had to gag that stuff down
Ugh,
constantly. I should have false reported in my worksheet saying that I took it when I didn't because it was terrible.
yeah. Just pour
Uh,
that crap down the toilet, who would know the difference, right?
yeah, exactly. I should have done it. You're also drinking oil, which how nice is that? It's disgusting.
Oh my gosh,
It's
so
horrendous.
gross. I know, I did, oh, somebody said bingo. Apparently, I guess we're doing bingo, and I said CalMag. CalMag.
Oh, is that right?
I guess. I don't know. Candy's Life says
Oh, that's kind
bingo.
of fun. Pick one.
Yeah,
Yeah, I somebody said Amy didn't say it, and I'm like, didn't say what? I'm like trying to look and see what was I supposed to say.
there
I
you
don't know what
go.
this is.
That was it. See, we're just playing a game we didn't even know.
Yeah.
Anyway, now, oh yeah, so when I did the Purif, the first time I was 14, and I got so sick that I was up all night throwing up vitamins, which, in case you're wondering, is pretty much even worse than panther piss and cow mag, like throwing up
God, it's
B1 and
handfuls, like
yes.
full handfuls, like
Yeah.
mounds, and I would
Yeah.
try to do it all in one gulp. It's so gross.
Yeah, I already have a very
You
sensitive
threw it
gag
up, huh?
mechanism. I threw it up, and then it took me I don't think I could swallow vitamins for at least 6 years after that.
B complex. How
Yeah.
stinky is that?
Yeah, and so the crazy thing too is that my thing with vitamins is that, Chernobyl happened when I was still in England. I think it was whatever year it was, I don't remember. I was a kid and,
Mhm.
but I wanna say it was 1985 or 1986. Hopefully somebody in the comments can correct my lack of history knowledge of years. But either way, when Chernobyl happened, all Scientologists were required to take dianazine. Do you remember dianazine?
No.
Okay,
Mm-mm. What
so
is
it's a
it?
vitamin formula that Hubbard prescribed that includes like even more bigger pills than you take on the Purif, like including
No.
guck. It's like these giant pills. And the only reason I even, as a kid, contemplated cooperating with this madness, oh, there you go, 1986. Thank you, Denise.
Yeah.
Um, is that part of the dianazine formula is you would take this massive amount of pills and you would get to eat chocolate with it to help absorb it for some reason. I'm like, I never get to eat chocolate. So sure, I'll swallow all these stupid pills. But I had a really, really,
Chocolate.
really bad reaction to niacin. I always have my whole
Oh.
life. It makes me like
Mm.
curl up in a ball on the floor, like
Mhm.
violently ill. Anyway,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah, I was made
it's
to take
ridiculous.
niacin, 5,000 milligrams of niacin for 8 straight months.
Yeah,
And my doctor was like, "You should sue them for medical malpractice because
yeah,
that is crazy insane of what it can do to your body and
yep,
has."
yep,
Anyway,
yep.
so you mentioned this one, which is, we've talked about before, which is Chinese school.
Oh yeah,
That's a stupid thing that Scientology
it
in the
is.
Sea Org does.
That's how they mentally mind wipe you and insert their programming.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly. So you can just recite it, or you just know right away, like, whatever datums,
yep.
"Make money, make more money, make your money, make more money."
And that
Yeah.
is the definition of a team. A team has a tendency to know what the other team members are doing
There's
and
a
thinking,
doing, thinking, and cooperate
coordinate
thereby
thereby
and
and
therewith.
therewith.
That is the definition of a team. Yeah, it is people who cooperate one with another, bring about a common purpose, and
Push
they
forward a
normally get
common
along
purpose.
great.
Now,
And
the
they
trick
normally
is to
get
be a
along
member of the team and be an individual at the same time.
at the
I know.
same time.
Oh, barf.
Okay, here's the other one. Oh, yeah, well, we've been talking about this, draconian punishments, overboarding, getting assigned to the decks, getting assigned to the RPF, all-night amends projects, too gruesomes to be faced, like dig up the septic tank and white glove it,
Yep.
and just all kinds of different very creative, abusive things to assign people to do, which I was assigned many of them.
Yep.
Like, get up on the roof of the galley and scrape the grease off of the whatever, and it's just sludge, or taking that entire mountain of galley garbage that's been festering for months and get it to the dump. So we had to sling it, and all the bags were breaking open, and maggot juice was flying all over us, and I'm standing knee deep in crawling maggots. These are little assignments to break me, really.
Yeah.
Didn't
And
break
that
me.
and that is the point. That was the point. And look at us now. So yeah, you
Yeah,
failed. You failed.
yeah, yeah, and I can do anything, I can confront anything, and you don't scare me, suckers.
Yeah.
How's that? That pisses me off. I've had to do so much of that kind of stuff in my life, and it was all for somebody's sadistic, punishments.
Yep.
So much. that Scientology, especially the Sea Org, just punishes and punishes and punishes you
Yep.
nonstop. They don't stop. They won't cease. And that's going to be their downfall, which is fine with me. So
Yep.
you're going to piss off people so bad and then tear up their families and stuff like that. So just keep doing it, David Miscavige. You're great at it.
Hey, by the way, speaking of Laura FM, she's in the chat and she said that was a squirrel rehearsal of the definition of a team. What is it?
That was a squirrel. Oh,
That's amazing.
All the cadets had to learn that in their sleep, so she could probably still recite it like so good. She's got to drill us. Come on, Laura, you gotta drill us.
Oh, and Elsie says, I'm just going to do this one right now. She says, what is Chinese school? Chinese school is where you have a whole group of, like whatever staff members at a muster, and somebody runs a Chinese school. So you have a big piece of paper with an L. Ron Hubbard quote up on it. And you have a person with a pointer that would have been me or Amy or whoever running Chinese school. And when you do Chinese school, you say, what is a team? What is the definition of a team? What is it? And then everybody chants in unison, calling out as loud as you can, aggressively stating this L. Ron Hubbard quote. And the point is to get it to where you can do it without even looking at the words. As Laura points out, we are well out of practice, but we could very easily. I mean, the horrible thing is that there's many things that are just permanently ingrained. Like, the 10 points of keeping Scientology working, whatever. We could go on and on. The barriers to study, all the signs of the different barriers to study. Anyway, we could go on and on and on, but there's things that that's part of the programming that they do, is they make you chant the Hubbard quotes over and over and over again until you can't unremember them, even if you tried.
Yeah. Well, I mean, 18 years later, we're kind of starting to unremember, right? Or at least we're fumbling with them.
Yeah. By the way, Laura, you've got it wrong. She says, and coordinates their bias in there with that as a team. A team has a tendency to know what the other team members are doing and thinking, and coordinates thereby and therewith. And that is the definition of a team.
She was probably a little girl. She always thought it was bias.
Right. Exactly. I know. That's funny. That's so funny. Oh my God.
She probably knows it's probably a typo. And then she says, as people who cooperate one with another,
she mostly
to push forward a common purpose, and they normally get along great.
That's right. We said that part.
The trick is to be an individual, be a member of the team of the same. Her fingers were going on fire typing this out.
And the only way one does that is to come uptone until you can do it. LRH. That's right.
What is it?
You would always end with LRH, the aggressive, like LRH. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and how about the standing up and 3 cheers to L. Ron Hubbard?
Hip, hip. My God. Hip, hip.
Hip, hip. Okay, here is a total insanity in the Sea Org.
Okay. Like
no, here's another
one,
but
many.
This is a big. This is a big one that I just can't even believe.
Yeah.
Yes, we can, because the whole place is psycho. But this is straight from L. Ron Hubbard. It's called the LRH Team Share System.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Team Share System is a L. Ron Hubbard devised system that you get 5 cards. You get a social card, a bonus card, a pay card, a chow card, and a birthing card. And what that means is, on a whim, anyone senior to you can randomly take a card away. They can pull more than 1 card at a time. So if you don't have your social card, that means you can't do anything social. No one did anything social anyway, so fine, take my card.
That was a burner card. As Mark said, as Mark would always say, that's a burner card. Social card and bonus card were just burner cards, because nobody got bonuses.
Never happened anyway.
Yeah.
Never happened. Yeah. So thank you. The next one is your pay card. So they pull your card and you don't get any pay. Okay. So that one didn't hurt too much because you didn't get much anyway. But, I mean, if you got to buy,
and even if you had a pay card, it wasn't a guarantee you'd get paid.
I know.
Because pay would often get cut from the financial planning.
Yeah, because the staff members don't mean anything, you know?
Yep.
You gotta pay for Dave's scuba expedition.
Right.
Um, chow card. So as soon as you don't have your chow card, that means you don't get to eat regular food. You can only go and get refried beans or whatever with rice, and that's it. So breakfast, you have to go get your beans that are left over from the day before and left over from the meal before, get your beans, and then dinner beans, lunch beans, breakfast beans all the time. You're farting nonstop. I went months on beans and rice for breakfast, lunch, and dinner
Okay, so
because
I think I was more of a rebel than that because I just refused. I was like,
how in the hell? I
I would
couldn't
just
just refuse.
I'd rather not eat, honestly.
I know, but
I
I had to eat.
seriously, I know, but I was just like, I'll starve.
I mean, the gala gets
Doesn't
your name, so they know that you're not supposed to be sneaking in the regular
I
line.
didn't sneak. Mark would buy me protein bars, so I guess that was a little bit sneaking.
Yeah, that's a sneak.
But it's not like I mean, okay, great. So I ate a tiger milk bar. That's 80 calories instead of a
I
meal.
know.
I was still sick from lack of proper nutrition, but I just refused to I don't know, I guess because I grew up in the cadet org and as even as a kid when there was just no food. I don't know. I don't know. But
Yeah.
I just would refuse. I had I would say I was allergic to rice and beans, but I actually honestly can't even remember eating rice and beans. That's how much I hated it. I was just like, "F you, I will not eat then." So, good luck with that. What do you want to force feed me? Go right
I
ahead.
know. I would squirt mayonnaise in it just to make it taste
No,
like something.
no, 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 no. No, ask Mark. He'll tell you I'm stubborn. I'm one
That's
stubborn
funny.
person.
Oh, well, yeah, so okay. So you don't get to eat and yeah, I went for months without it. Like because I didn't post a WDC member over gold and it had to be approved by David Miscavige and I did 23 personnel proposals, full like all of their files, all of the information, everything. It was approved by everybody up to COB. David Miscavige, for that post, and he disapproved all 23 and it ended up being the first person I proposed. So that's who ended up going on
Who
it.
was
But
the
anyway,
first person?
Mark Stupid Ingber.
Oh, was my husband Mark one of the people that you proposed?
No.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
no, because he was proposed later.
Was he? Yeah,
Yeah,
no, he wasn't one of them. He
thank
was
goodness.
new. He
Thank
was
goodness
new
he didn't
to
get
the base.
approved. Knew he'd been
Yeah,
there since '89. What year was this?
it was probably 90,
Yeah. Oh,
90,
okay. So he was
91 or something like
relatively new.
90 or 91. Yeah.
He hadn't been broken yet.
No, he wasn't broken in. People had their eyes on him though, but not for that post, that's for sure. That post was a death wish. I got assigned that post one time.
Well, that's how I felt when Mark ended up as the producer, Gold. So
Death
it
wish.
was in the exec area of Gold. It was this person, the producer would report to the commanding officer, Golden Era
Mhm.
Productions, and was over all of the production divisions of Gold. And when Mark was assigned to that post, I want to say the prior 5 people on that post had either blown or gone to the rehabilitation project force. And maybe even Jim, your ex-husband
Yeah,
had been one of those. I don't
probably.
remember, but either way, I was like, "Ooh, this is not good." But
I
I
know.
couldn't say anything because it'd be like black PR.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, there were a couple posts on that base that were just, you're gonna die because you're directly on David Miscavige's lines, and he's never happy with anything. So WDC Gold was one of them, and I got that lovely post one time. And the estate secretary, which is a person who's responsible for the whole property and all the buildings and facilities and renovations and construction and all this kind of stuff. And David Miscavige minute detailed that job constantly.
Yep.
So,
Commanding
that was
Officer
another
Gold was another one of those.
big one,
Yep.
producer, like you said, yeah.
Yep.
The systems director, that was another job that,
Right. So Mark
yeah.
got busted off producer and ended up as a systems
I know.
Systems
So one
director.
fire to another. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like, yeah.
Jim was the systems director. I never saw him.
Okay.
You
Okay,
know, no,
that's what I was thinking of.
that's the one. That's the
Yeah,
one. He was the systems director, and then probably Mark took over when he was busted.
right.
But yeah, yeah, there's
There
a
there
lot
had
of
yeah.
ups and downs and post changes constantly. You don't it's not like you have a career in the Sea Org, like, you're just used. So, if somebody needs something, they just, like, will grab people and
Yep.
send them off on a mission, what's called a mission, or transfer them over here onto this job, transfer them onto this project, or whatever, you know? Like, so there's no it was actually very rare because I was on a single post for, like, almost a decade, and that was really and I was permanently posted, I was fully trained for it, and I did good at it, which is the watchdog committee for celebrity centers, and, that's very rare, and I had another post that I was permanently posted on, which it means you meet all these requirements, you get fully approved by the Religious Technology Center as making $1,000,000 or more for the, organization a year, blah, 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 totally trained, which was, the chief officer's organizing officer post, and I was on that for, like, 4 years or something, but other than that, it's like on a post, off a post, on a post, off a post constantly,
Yep.
right? Yeah,
Yep.
it's not they're the worst at organization. They supposedly have the only technology, for organizations too, with all their org boards and issues and policies, volumes, coming out your ears, and they have the worst organizational sense in the universe.
They have the
And
worst
treat
everything sense. I mean, for the
Yeah.
amount of billions that they have, why is there no public relations, not even a singular person willing to
Mm-mm.
speak publicly about
Yeah.
Scientology?
Right.
Just
Yeah.
saying. Just
Just
saying.
saying. Just saying, you amateurs.
Yep.
And the final card on this thing was the birthing card. So if you lost your birthing card, you slept out on the golf course, and it's not a nice golf course. It's an old used to be golf course that's now dry desert hay.
Yeah, and actually I thought by the policy, correct me if I'm wrong, but I thought that if you lost your birthing card, you were supposed to be assigned to pigs birthing.
Well, I don't know actually because yeah, people were assigned to pigs birthing, but people were stuck out on the golf course. Why were
Yeah.
people stuck out on the golf
I
course? That
think
was
that's just
stupid.
because they didn't have a pig's birthing.
Oh yeah, that's probably it.
So that was the equivalent, but the idea being that they'd make you sleep wherever I mean, we didn't have pigs, so but that was definitely written in the policy, so
Yeah, it's called pigs
didn't
birthing, and
right.
it is. It is
Yeah.
called pigs birthing, and what it is, like, I think Matt was assigned to pigs birthing in Florida one time because he wanted to leave. So you get automatically stuck in pigs birthing, and what it was like a shell of a room with concrete floor, no air conditioning in Florida. Let's see what else. No place, no like mattress or no bunk bed or anything like that. And you just like get a space and you make it go right. And anyway, he refused because he's not going to put up with that crap. But
Good for him.
anyway, they tried to put him in there. He refused to eat rice and beans too, by the way.
I would
And
love to see. Yeah, so see, Matt and I, we can get along on that point for
yeah,
sure. I mean, not that we
yeah.
don't get along, but I would just love to
Oh,
see anyone forcing Matt to do anything. I mean, he's
no.
giant. Like, what are they going to do? Uh,
No, he
uh,
definitely had his own thing. I was surprised at all the things that he would do that were bending the rules. I'm like, what? I was always trying to stick by I was always in trouble, but I was always trying to follow the rules,
yep.
and not taking any days off, not taking any vacations, not
Staying up all
trying to keep my
night.
nose clean,
Yep.
staying up all night, doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing. But anyway, I would have done everything totally different now with my viewpoint now. It'd be like,
Oh yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
nothing.
I'd be
I'm
like,
not doing any of it. I'm not
yeah,
doing
I'd be
any
like,
of it.
okay, sorry, what did you just say? Let me grab my phone. Okay, go go ahead. What was that, sir? Okay.
Yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, say it again slowly.
I'm sorry, I missed that.
September. Oh God. Yeah. I would love to do that stuff nowadays.
I
Oh
know.
God. Yeah, and also stick it so far where the sun doesn't shine on all your stupid destructive orders. Yeah,
Yeah.
forget it. Anyway, all the things I would have loved to say.
I know.
Ugh,
I know. Even if some of them might have been a stupid idea, but
yeah, I know. Oh,
uh,
well, should we do a giveaway?
sure. Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, good. So let's go over to my little banners here and stick on one of these little things. We'll go ahead and do my book first, okay?
Sounds good.
Okay, so for anyone who would like a copy, a signed copy, paperback book of Scientology Abuse at the Top, this is my journey in Scientology and out of Scientology. And if you would like a copy of that, put Queen Bee or Book Me or something like that in the chat, and I will pick you in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh my God, they're just flying. I can't even pick.
Uh,
I have no idea.
Wonder
Woman.
Woman.
Giveaway, book me. Yes. Wonder Woman, you have
Yay.
won a book. So write to me at Amy at scoby-publishing.com and tell me your contact information so I can mail a book. Congratulations. Look at all you
Nice.
guys. I want you all to have a book. Oh, Laura FM, I'll send you a book. Oh, look at all you people. I want to give you all a book. But anyway, you can buy a book from me. Go to go go to Abuse of the Top at scoby-publishing.com. Thank you,
Nice.
everybody. Okay. And did you want to do one later or what?
Sure. Well, why don't I do one now and then we can answer a bunch of questions and then we can do a final one at the end. BFG. Who would like a signed
BFG,
copy of
everybody.
Mark's book, Blown for Good, Behind the Iron Curtain of Scientology? All right. So, yes, let's see. And I will do the same. I will do 5, 4, 3. Hold on a minute. My computer's got to catch up with me here. Okay, here we go. Hold on. Up. Now it's flying by. There we go. Poodlebone. There you go. You win the signed copy of Mark's book, Blown for Good, Behind the Iron Curtain of Scientology. Please send me an email at claire@blownforgood.com with your address, and I will get that sent off to you.
Nice. Good. So we got a couple people getting books. Nice.
Yes.
And I'm also just going to, while we're talking about it, anyone who's watching right now, if you're not subscribed to my channel, can you please subscribe to my channel at QueenBee-SP? And if you're not subscribed to Blown for Good, let's get her up to 40,000 subscribers. So go to @BlownForGood and subscribe. And also take a look when you're watching on both of our channels. Did you hit the like button? If it's not hit it. Rock slam it.
I don't know. I'm always triggered when you say that. Oh, I have to be honest.
I know. I actually hate it. Don't say it one more time. I was with Janice and she says rock slam it, and then because I got assigned to the RPF for a rock slam one time, and it was the biggest, fattest injustice ever, and it was a total lie, and it was Jana Dare writing in my folder opinion. She's thinking about L. Ron Hubbard or something, and I get assigned.
Swanson.
Yeah, and it's such a mind numbing thing that you're punished for something that supposedly is going on in your brain, and you don't have any cause over it whatsoever. I did nothing.
Yep.
Anyway,
and most often it was just a technical flaw. It was a phenomena caused by dust in the e-meter. So it makes me wonder if there is even such a thing. But
probably
of course,
not.
Osa will be like, "Hey, you're such a thing." I'm like, whatever.
Yeah.
You know what?
I know.
I'm helping people, and I can rest at night knowing that I've done my best to enlighten people and help people get out. And that's all I can do.
Get back with their families.
Yep. So yeah, but yeah, we should call it
Anyway.
punch or smash or
Yeah, yeah,
push.
smash that like button.
There
Smash.
you go.
Smash is okay, right?
Yeah, that's
Smash the
good.
like button. Yeah, we're
Yep.
not gonna rock slam anything. These guys suck.
Yep.
I hate that so bad, actually.
Yeah. I'm glad we're on the same page on that. I was like,
Totally on the same page.
I
And
I definitely have
also
negative experiences with that too, because the amount of times I'd be like, I have to find someone as a rock slammer. It was just a bunch of nonsense.
yeah. Also, visit my store, amy-scobie-shop4thwall.com. Visit my store, fun merchandise, and visit Blown for Good store as well. See if there's
Yes.
any fun things that you could see in there. And we have new ideas and new things going in there pretty soon too, which is awesome.
Yep. And since I saw somebody talking about it in the comments, I'm going to suggest to Mark that when we do our thing for hitting 40,000,
Yeah.
maybe we'll pull up some of our favorite shoops and some of our favorite mic pictures, just like a
Ah, that would be
how
fun.
here's
Reminiscing.
yeah, reminisce on the good things and the fun things. And yeah, because we get so much incredible input, I would say collectively as a community, that I just love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's for sure. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, good. So, what do you think? I think we should go to questions, right? We got
Yep.
33 up there.
Let's do it. Let's do
Okay,
it.
good. So, just so you know, I got through 15 out of 45 or something.
15 out of 45. Oh, on your list. Nice. Yeah. See, I told you we would have tons more to do. Yeah.
Yep, we
Yeah.
do. We do. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and start at the top. Here we go.
Okay. Okay, give me a second here. I got
Mm-hmm.
distracted. Okay. Sinfully good. Question. Was the Sea Org cobbler more a crumble with the harder top or a cakey type with the batter partially mixed in? I need to know so I know what type of cobbler to make for my channel. Okay. So I think for context, I saw in the comments that I think this was something that Aaron was talking about on growing up in Scientology, I believe. Amy and I can only comment on the cobbler that was served at the headquarters, which might have been different than what Aaron had. I don't know. Maybe it was the same. I don't think I don't know that they were big on sharing recipes necessarily. But so speaking for the one that I remember, and Amy, you can pipe in. I remember it being like granola recycle on top of the cobbler, not cakey
Yes.
and not mixed in. It was like the least amount of work, the better. That's how I remember it.
Yeah, and it kind of seeped down into it a little bit, but it was really a hard top and then a little bit doughy just underneath and then all berries after that.
Yes.
Okay. I
Yeah.
know that you were desperately trying to get an answer on that, so I started. I'm sorry. So there you go.
And as long as we're talking about, as long as we're talking about recipes,
Mhm.
my favorite is when Mark always talks about Musco stew. Have you heard him talking about this?
Yeah, everything that must go has gotta
Yeah.
go in that damn thing.
Thursday is Musco stew. Everything that must go goes in the stew.
So gross.
It was so
But
true.
so true, so true.
So true. Oh my gosh. Okay, Rachel, Claire in the house getting the early chat. I love you and your family. Bravery is not being scared, it's being scared and going forward anyway. Thank you, Rachel. And that is very,
I love
very
that.
true. It kind of grates me a little bit when people are like, "Oh, you're so brave." It's like it's not bravery. It's not. It's absolutely scary, but it's the right thing to do. So it's not optional. It's just, you know, well, it's why we're here, right?
Yeah, totally. And also sometimes it's like not fun talking about how stupid we were,
No.
following all this. And
No, it
I
can
was
be
a
very, very painful, very painful.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
the first
constantly.
time when Mark and I did a live when he was interviewing me about my childhood, like some of those things, yes, I had kind of given him the cursory review of, but I hadn't done a deep dive on it. And I remember distinctly that there was a time that we did one on a Friday, and it quite literally physically took me 3 days to recover. I just felt
No
like I
way.
got hit by a Mack truck, and
Yeah.
I was just like, oh, this is really
Mhm.
hard. Anyway,
Mhm. Yeah, and some of the interviews, that we do, like, where you, like, really do a deep dive on some of the things and get asked every little angle and stuff, afterwards, it's just like, "Let me sleep for about 5 days."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yep.
I've reached a point where I'm like that it's okay to have that reaction, but it doesn't make it
Yeah.
easy.
No. Right.
Yep. Okay. Candy's Life. I'm hoping to win a book for my birthday. I have 12 days left to go, people. So cross your fingers for me, please. Okay. You know
I
what?
know.
Candy's Life. Candy's Life. Shoot me an email. I'll send you a copy of my Mark's book.
Happy
Just happy
birthday.
birthday. You know what?
Happy
Let's
birthday.
celebrate. We don't
Yes.
we are here because we also know how to break rules. So, welcome and
Yes.
thanks for being here.
That's awesome, and I wrote it down. Candy's Life from Maine wants a book for birthday. I wrote it down because we were
Oh,
gonna do
that's
it. So yeah,
nice. That's
yeah,
nice.
because I saw the comment.
Yep. Tori Chrisman, hi all from Burbank, California. I'm so glad, Tori, that you made it here. I think you had to jump off,
Yeah.
but we always appreciate having you here. It would be amazing to have
Yes.
Tori on to one of our lives one day.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's
Yes.
totally do it. Yep.
Sinfully good again. I've been asking what type of cobbler. Oh, we
Oh
already
my god.
covered this. It's
Okay.
okay.
Yeah,
This was a
we got it.
different comment. She was pretty, he or she or whoever was very insistent that we answer the cobbler question. So, way to
Yeah.
go on persistence.
Yes.
Lisa Chicoin. Good evening, everyone. I hope you are all enjoying this beautiful day night. Please remember to hit the like button. Thank you. We appreciate that.
Yes.
Solid
Thank you.
reminder. Thank you. Thank you. Catherine, you're
Yeah.
almost at 40K subscribers. I know. I know. I'm so
Yeah.
grateful. So grateful.
Yes.
Yes.
And all
And
you 40,000, come over and like my channel too. Yay.
yes, absolutely. So, so awesome. Oh, Sinfully Good is a she. Thank you, Sinfully Good. I just
Yeah.
didn't want to make assumptions. You know what assumptions do to all of us. Yep, that's right. Tori Chrisman, it's never too late to be what you wanted to be. That's right.
Mhm.
Absolutely solid reminder.
Yes.
Sarah 78, thank you for the super chat. Amy, I love your gleeful giggles. They are so contagious and joyful. Clara, that quote embodies who you are and what you encourage in others. Ladies, you both bring such light and goodness into this world. Thank you so, so much, Sarah
What a
78. We
kind
appreciate it.
comment.
That is very
Very
kind.
yeah, thank you. Kind comment.
Japan of Green Gables. Question, Amy. I know Janice was in the CMO, but is there some connection between the fact you were Yvonne's junior and the fact you later ran Celebrity Center?
I was never Yvonne's junior.
Oh,
I never even met Yvonne,
oh, okay.
so I don't know. I worked with Janice. Janice and I worked together. We've known each other for yonks. I think I was 19 or I just turned 20 or something like that when I met her, and, I've known her ever since. So,
Nice.
yeah. Yeah.
I think I've said this before, but I think the first time I remember ever seeing you was at Celebrity Center in 1991 when you were there
That
on
was
mission.
Yes, I was, and the whole place was in trailers, and it was a
Yep.
mudslide. It
Yep.
was a mudslide.
Yep. Total
That was
disaster.
funny.
Maria
Yeah.
Ferrara tried many, many times to recruit me for the C
Yeah.
organization.
She was smart. She could see talent when it was right in front of her. Yep.
Yeah. And
If I saw you, I woulda nabbed you too.
conversely or reversely, I saw Maria as a very kind person. Like I one time got her a present of this little glass piano that played this beautiful music, and
Oh.
she started crying when I gave it to her. I was like,
Aw, sweet.
I just
Yeah, you really touched her.
she was a really nice person. Say
Yeah.
it's a shame that she's still there, and honestly, I'm sure she's still there probably because her husband and her kids and all that, and I understand the locks that creates, but, I
Yeah.
also go, you know,
I know.
Maria, are you making decisions and contributing to an organization you're proud of? Because if not, it's never too late to get out.
Yeah, and if you think you are, open your eyes
Right.
because it really isn't,
No.
it's actually highly destructive.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
Yep. Okay. Jason Polychron. DM seemed giddy announcing the 1993 tax exemption. Can you expound on his demeanor behind closed doors in the Sea Org, patting himself on the back? Oh, completely.
He was
Completely.
so arrogant.
Yeah.
Like, okay, so after I'll tell a quick thing and then you say, after the event, the after party was supposed to be at Celebrity Center, and so I got Celebrity Center totally set up for the after party for everybody, and he arrived, and, and I went up to Miscavige and I said, "I'm, so happy that you could come," or something like that, and and held out my hand to shake his hand or whatever, and he hit my hand away and he said, "You just wanna get rid of me." This is me, like, setting the whole place up for him and, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, that really, like, had an impact on me because I thought, "What an arrogant, stupid ass would
Wow.
say something like that when somebody just bent over backwards to make your evening super, super special."
Right?
Yeah. What
How
about you?
bizarre is that? No. So I was at the time of the IRS exemption, I was just a lowly supervisor in Golden Era Productions. But at that event, I was one of the flag bearers for the opening ceremony. And
When
then
everyone's flopping their
yeah,
flags everywhere.
yeah. And then ironically, I got roped into then switching out and becoming one of the walk on girls to present the Waterford Crystal trophies to Monique Yingling, Tom Spring, and whoever the other two were. And I just remember it was completely the David Miscavige show. Like, he was gleeful. Remember when he was like, "The war is over." And the
Mhm.
best part, I mean, Mark tells the best stories about that event because it was so, everything about it was just a complete and utter disaster.
It was a nightmare. He almost got stabbed by one of the flag bearers, John, Thomas,
Yeah.
JT,
Yeah, he said
John
that
Thomas.
he and David
Trying to
Miscavige said
kill
that
him.
John Thomas intentionally had these college girls point their flags to throw them to exactly where David Miscavige was coming on stage, like, as if that he planned it that way.
He was trying to kill him, that's what he said.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my
And
gosh.
also, what was the other thing? Let's see. Oh, yeah, Gary Weesey, when there was the big, climax where David Miscavige says, "The war is over." And what happened was Gary Weesey, it goes, "The war is," and then Gary Weesey cut to something else before David Miscavige said over.
Yep,
He
yep,
got in so much trouble. He
yeah.
sabotaged everything in David
He
Miscavige's
sabotaged the
moment.
most important shot in the entire history of Scientology.
Mhm. Yep,
Yeah,
David Miscavige's moment, it was sabotaged.
yep,
He got in big trouble for that.
yep, absolutely.
How's that for a few stories for you? There you go.
Yep. Denver Stevo in the house. Oh crud, I'm late. Just wanted to say that there is nothing better on a Wednesday than watching the two of you goofballs, except maybe Xenu Nation at 9340 ET at Denver Stevo. Osa smells like poo. Praise Xenu. I hope you saw my SPTV creator survival kit, Denver Stevo. Part of it was
Yeah,
inspired by you.
yeah, it was perfect. It got the poo
uh,
smell stuff.
yeah. Angie English. Amy, I've been loving your videos of your reading your book. Keep fighting the good fight. That's
Oh,
awesome.
thank you, Angie. Thank you.
And Colonel Brock, question, Claire, Beatles or Stones? Beatles all the way. I'm sure I've told the story about when I got to meet Paul McCartney when I was 12.
I didn't know that. Wow.
So I was in the school choir at Greenfields, which was the English Scientology school. And it was, in the 80s. So there was all the charity songs. And Nicky Matheson was a famous musician in England who was a Scientologist who knew Paul McCartney. And he wrote a song called What About the Children in Need? And we all sang it. And somehow he roped in Paul McCartney. So we got to go to Paul McCartney's windmill that had been converted into a music studio, and we recorded the song there. Somewhere I still have the record of it.
Oh, wow.
but Paul McCartney showed up there, and I was always a huge Beatles fan, honestly, before that. And so he was conducting us. It was an amazing experience. And afterwards, he gave us autographs. But Mark always teases me about this because the only pen I had was an eyeliner. So he signed a postcard. And of course, it had smudged off by the time I got home.
Oh.
Anyway.
Well, you still had the memory, though.
Yeah, it was an amazing memory. Gino Dean in the house. If a Sea Org member gets injured on the job and needs to go to the hospital, does Scientology carry workers' comp, or are you on your own because you're a volunteer? So, Jerry, Nadine, Sarasota, Jerry, good to see you here. My answer to this, and from actual real life experience, I was injured on the job. I broke my leg so bad I almost lost my foot. And it was filed as a workers' comp claim, though I was made to lie on the workers' comp form saying that I was working 40 hours a week instead of, 80 to 100 and all of that. So, yeah, it was covered by workers' comp.
Okay.
Apostate Alex, I used to write not approved why on mine. So if it was disapproved, they had to give me a reason why.
Oh, that's
that's
smart.
amazing. Not approved
Yeah.
why. Give me
They
a
would've
why.
They would have said that you were disaffected.
Yeah. They would be like, you were altering
Yeah, the policy.
policy. Yeah.
Go method 9, word clear it.
Yeah. Jason Polychron, U.S. Navy requires CO marriage approval. Okay, there you go. I guess that means commanding officer. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same in the Sea Organization, or rather, the Sea Organization has ripped that off from the Navy. Perhaps is the better statement.
Yeah, well, the Sea Organization requires approval for you to breathe.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Somebody just wrote a comment saying, Claire is currently talking about Maria. Am I far behind? Were we talking about Maria?
Maria who?
I don't know. That's why I'm
I
confused.
never even heard the word Maria.
Yeah, Amber Vanass. Hi, Claire and Amy. Hi, Amber. Just wanted to
Hi,
say
Amber.
thank you for being
Hi.
here.
Yes, hi, Amber.
Tori Chrisman. Thanks, Goldie, for that link. Okay, there you
I don't
go.
know why that was starred.
No, me neither. It's okay. Jeffrey Ammerman comment, as a Navy veteran, it is considered to be stolen valor to wear the uniform when one didn't serve, as well as fabricating meaningless campaign bark.
Yeah,
Could not agree with
right.
you more,
I
Jeffrey.
know.
It's
I
actually
know.
intensely embarrassing to think back on it in retrospect, not knowing where it was taken from or why, that it was a copycat and all of that. Like,
That's super embarrassing.
ugh, it's really
Yeah.
sick.
We're sorry.
Yeah. Sharon Minor question, with all the marriages and divorces, do people get jealous of their ex-spouses marrying someone else?
Not really. You get
No.
Yeah, you just, like, move on
Yeah,
and
it's
get on
not,
with it.
the Sea Organization is not a place for people with feelings.
No, exactly, Claire. That's perfect. Oh, write that down. It goes on a T-shirt.
Yeah, if you have feelings, you do not belong there. That's
No,
why I always said the
exactly.
best Sea Org member was an android, right? That was
Yeah,
what they were
and
modeling
Matt always says that, you had 2 rights as a Sea Org member. 1, shut the F up, and 2, to work. So just shut up and work. That's all your rights. No
Yep.
other rights whatsoever.
Yeah, which really was no rights.
No rights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Angie English question, why was everyone called sir even if they were a woman? Have never understood that one. Yeah, me neither, Angie. Honestly, it was really kind of uncomfortable to have my husband call me Mr. Headley.
I know. I was so used to it.
Yeah.
You get used to it when you're in there, but in terms of why, it's because L. Ron Hubbard said to do it. It's
Yeah.
called there was a flag order issue that he wrote called Flag Order 38, number 38,
Yep.
and it said who you're supposed to call sir, and it's everybody and everything. So L. Ron Hubbard said it, so you did it.
Yeah, and actually I don't think he specified woman or male,
Yeah, you did.
female or male. He said
Yeah,
regardless of
everybody.
gender.
Mhm.
I
I
always
would like
thought,
to I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna
yeah,
look it
I
up because
always
I'm
thought it
sure it's
was generalized in a way that didn't specify, but because of
no.
the way the wording was, it meant that you would always call everybody sir. Like if like in other words, I always thought it was so general as in you call an officer sir or mister, but it didn't actually say female or male or have any
I'll see if I can
and so I understood it to be the automatic and robotic um literal application of L. Ron Hubbard's words that even though it didn't make sense, you would just blindly do it anyway because it wasn't specified.
Okay. Well, I'll see if I can find it, and then we'll bring it up,
Yeah,
next week.
sounds good.
Hopefully,
That'll
because
be
a lot
good.
of times those issues are online and I can find them. So that would be really good to clarify that. I'm curious too.
Yes, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just looking. I got distracted by a comment here. Okay, Abigail S. Thank you for the super chat. Hi, ladies. A few weeks ago, Liz, Gail, and Reese Quibble were on the Monday live stream, and I suggested they come on here. I haven't caught this in a while, so have they been on here? Oh, that's awesome. That's a great thought.
Mhm.
They haven't, just because we've been finding our groove and getting into a rhythm here and ironing out our kinks on our own terms, and I think we're getting there.
Yes.
Blackmail. Okay, is that I'm not sure what currency that is. Hey girls, did you watch any of
Mexican?
the yeah, maybe. Did you watch any of the Aaron debates with the Australian guy named Jason? What do you think? You think he's still a Scientologist in denial? So I started watching one of them. I think I'm going to watch them more closely. I need to catch up on that.
Mm. I
Yeah.
saw a couple minutes and, I mean, he sounds like a Scientologist still
Yep.
from what from the, little bit that I saw, but, I don't know. I have no idea. Because I don't know him and I didn't see enough to be able to really have an opinion.
Yeah, I guess not having seen it, I'll watch it and then we can maybe revisit that. I guess an actual Scientologist, like I could argue with you in the valence of a Scientologist or in the
Mhm, mm,
beingness or from the perspective of the Scientologist that I used to be fairly convincingly. I don't know that an actual Scientologist would do a debate like that.
mm, yeah. Oh, definitely not. I don't think that he is an active Scientologist. He even says that he's not,
Yeah.
but he has viewpoints. I think it's just like all of us, it like comes off in layers. And it's actually really good for him to or people to talk through some of the stuff.
Yep.
Um, so that he's doing it publicly is pretty impressive, I think, because, but he probably has some fixed ideas because that's how you come out of that place. You totally have all kinds of weird ideas.
Yep. Definitely. Abigail S. Claire or Amy, try doing a peace sign or two thumbs up, one on each side of your head. Aaron has special effects happen to him on stream. Okay. Peace sign.
Peace sign? I think he is doing thumbs up, and then
Thumbs
it
up.
would do but it doesn't do it.
No, I didn't
I
get
don't
any special effects. I did it just
no
for
special
giggles.
effects.
We don't have
Yep.
BTs over here.
No.
8 points of out R factor. Question. 8 points of out R factor. What a name. Okay,
I know.
question.
I
Do
don't
you have access to the kitchens to spice up the refried beans? No, you don't have access to anything in there. You just eat
Mm-mm.
what's put in front of you. There's no
Mhm.
yeah, no, you would not be allowed. You would even get dirty looks even just trying to toast an English muffin at the freaking toaster.
I know,
Remember
which is right
Bronwyn?
inside the door.
Bronwyn?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You couldn't.
Yeah. No hard
They didn't
feelings,
plus
Bronwyn.
there's like 700 people going to a meal at one time, and you can't all go into the galley or something like that trying to do your special thing.
Yeah. Yep.
That's a super sticker from
Sarita
Sarita.
Fisher. Thank you.
Thank you. And another one, so she must have done one on both channels or
Oh,
something.
nice. That's awesome.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Wonder Woman question, Claire. When and why did you get your moxie to buck up to Scientology? Not sure what that means.
No, you
Oh,
grew up there.
when I decided to speak up?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah, that was when they sent child services to my house. And the
That's
agent said, we've looked into this claim. My kids were 2 years old and like 8 weeks old. And he said, we've looked into this claim. We know it's bullshit. You need to watch your back. And it was at that moment that I was like, okay,
yeah, they don't
game
have any
on,
boundaries.
game
Yeah,
on. I'm not going to stand down and pretend that they just crossed the line. And I was like,
totally.
literally over my dead body, game on. I do.
Yeah.
I no longer agree to silence. I was trying to, do the right thing because of my brainwashing, and they undid the brainwashing. So good job, Osa.
Yeah,
Thank you for
yeah.
bringing me here tonight.
Congratulations.
Well
That's
done.
right. It's
Job
they
well
make their
done.
own worst enemies. Totally.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, you weren't even speaking out yet. What the hell is up with these stupid idiots? And then
Yep.
the other thing is, that's what happened with me. Like Tommy Davis goes on TV, CNN, saying there's no such thing as disconnection. Meantime, my mom is, like almost wanting to commit suicide because of forced disconnection out of Scientology, and they were trying to get her, they were giving her confessionals to try to find out what I was doing, and she said, I'm not like going to be narking on my daughter, don't try to do that. And so they're saying, oh, there's no such thing as disconnection. Meantime, she had to disconnect from me because it was a choice between her husband and me, and she had no other livelihood, so she stayed with her husband. It was terrible what Scientology was doing. And so I said, good. So I'm just, good. You stole my family. I'm gonna speak out. I'm gonna tell them
Yep.
everything. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. It's mind-blowing the lengths they've gone to utterly destroy our lives and our families and everything relentlessly. And then they
Mhm.
expect to shiver in our boots. It's like, you know what? You guys are psychotic. You literally are insane people. You belong in an asylum. You are
Yes.
literally nuts. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a total cult, and I was watching stuff about the, Jonestown again, I don't
Yeah.
know why that came up again, but the leader and how government people were like, they were, like, paying people, and they were, accepted as part of society. And it was just a sham, just like
Yeah.
Scientology is, a total sham. And, it's a cult. It's a
Yeah.
dangerous cult, that mind control cult, anyway. So we're gonna keep exposing it so people don't fall for their stupid, glitzy, "Oh, Tom Cruise is in it, so therefore it must be really cool."
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Yeah, and absolutely, and like we said, we know this is not easy to do. Like, I'll be honest, when Mark released his book in 2009, I was like, okay, I agree with putting the truth out there. Also, I'm going to insist that we have wills, and we need to make sure that if anything happens to us, that our children are protected. You also have to be reasonable and go, when there's vulnerable people like children involved, you have
Mhm.
to be very, very careful to make sure that appropriate precautions are taken. And that sucks, but
Yeah, yeah,
yep,
believe me, we had our own stuff as well, yes.
yep. Jen, I'm digging the new hair, Amy. You're both looking lovely per usual. Sending love from LA. Thank you, Jen. We appreciate
Thank you.
it.
My color kept washing out, so I said, "Okay, I'm gonna do it black next time and see if it stays in."
Joni Cummings. Amy, thanks for the book. I started reading it right next to Mike Rinder's book. Awesome.
Nice, nice.
Yes. Cassie Isaac.
Casey.
Casey. To cover the cost of shipping a book to Laura FM. Love you, ladies. Oh, that's so awesome. So
Yes, she's
awesome.
gonna get a book. That's
Yes.
for
And
sure.
Laura, if you want a BFG book, hit me up.
Yeah, same
Kaz
with mine.
Burns. Yes. Question: how is Serge Obolensky? I hope he's continuing to do well. You all are so wonderful for helping him. He is doing amazing. He connected with a half sister he didn't even know he had. Just so amazing. Anyway, he's doing
That's
great.
fantastic.
Yeah.
That's
He
really, I'm so
somebody
glad.
somebody made him pillowcases in like
Mhm.
amusement theme park that we sent to him, and somebody else got him this device that you can use to zipper things. And anyway, he's doing amazing. He's doing really good.
That's
So
fabulous. Fabulous
yep.
news.
Pat Shields, I'm always happy to be able to join you two on your live. Hugs from.
You're not from
Thanks,
there.
Pat. Literally, my brain is broken now. Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan, Saskatchewan,
Yeah, that's one.
Saskatchewan.
Saskatchewan.
There you go. I just did
Saskatchewan.
3 different versions. All right.
Saskatchewan.
Oh my gosh. Seriously. Tori, oh, grr, roar. Tori, you saved my life. There you go. I hope Tori is still here to
Awesome.
hear that. That's amazing.
Yes.
Yes, blackmail. You weren't stupid. Being involved in a cult can happen to anyone. Thanks for what you
Right.
do. I know that's absolutely
I
true.
know.
That's absolutely true. All of us humans, I always tell people we all come super well equipped with those elephant-sized rear view mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
And, we're just here to help people know it's okay. And you know what? It's okay to pick up the pieces. It's okay to have nothing. You can choose a new path at any time and you can do it.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I have a gigantic rear view mirror.
I know.
I would have done everything different, but, okay. I guess you learn.
Yeah. The only human skill I have that's more proficient than my elephant-sized rear view mirrors is my skill to procrastinate.
Oh, is that right?
I'm
Oh,
really good
yeah.
at procrastinating. I'm also really good at getting things done too. I'll say
You
that.
are. I was gonna say I was surprised at that because you super are.
Leslie Bishop, question. Did you both ever seriously wonder how David Miscavige came up with such twisted and truly hateful things to be done on people? I would say yes, but I really came to know closely how much of an evil person he is. So it didn't surprise me, I would sadly say.
Yeah. I mean, he's such a what is the word? Charismatic, but in an evil way, but he's so charismatic that he's easy to follow if you're a lemming, um, and so assertive.
Yep.
So it's easy to be subservient to
Yep.
him, and it's just terrible. And he takes advantage of that, and he knows it, and he uses it, and it's gross.
Yep. Agreed. Japan of Green Gables, clarification. I meant to say you were Janice's junior and Janice was Yvonne's daughter. Oh, on the Celebrity Center connection.
Oh, yeah, and at one point, so she was the operations officer, and I was the chief officer's org officer, which was her. I was always having to get her ethics in, and then one point she became the chief officer, and I became her org officer. So it was both ways, and she also trained me as a messenger because she was a senior messenger, having worked with LRH, and so she ran me through the gamut of becoming a graduate assistant messenger. So anyway.
But would it be true to say that there wasn't really a huge connection that you drew there between Yvonne having founded Celebrity Center and your work under Janice because family was so
Never even
neglected,
thought of it.
degraded, and eroded that you wouldn't have even made that connection, right?
No, I didn't
Yeah.
even think of it. In
Yeah.
fact, not even to this day until I
Right.
just saw this thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I
I
never
like
thought
how
of it.
people draw connect or make connections and we're like, yeah.
'Cause of family or something, it was like, "Oh, no."
Yeah, no. Joni Cummings, Claire Bear, you're a dear. Amy, your giggles get me giggling. You two are total badasses. The both of you are stronger than Scientology and DM realize. Thank you so much,
Mm.
Joni. We appreciate you being here. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, yes, she's always, in the comments and contributing in a very, very important part of the community. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
absolutely. Cheryl Texarkana. Question, Claire, was Shelley already gone when you blew? And if so, who did you work for then? So thank you for the question, Cheryl. No. And the answer is no. Shelley was still in power at the time that I escaped. In fact, I talked to her 2 or 3 days before I escaped because she had me working on an assignment to handle a woman who wanted to leave because her husband had left, which was really ironic because then when Mark blew, I was taken off that assignment. When Mark escaped, I was taken off of that. And I called them on it. I'm like, this is because Mark escaped. They're like, no, 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 no. I'm like, you
Oh,
guys are,
yes, it was.
yeah. Anyway, so no, Shelley was still in power. And honestly, I kind of had, I guess the right word is survivor's guilt a little bit when I learned about Shelley getting um, so completely removed, because that would have been very, very shocking to me, like completely earth
Big time.
shattering
Totally.
from the many years that I worked there. So I think that's part of why I'm now doing the series that I'm doing, because
Mhm.
um, when I when I obviously Shelley told me personally about the whole Find Tom Cruise a Wife project. So, it very well could be that that was a huge piece in her disappearance or her being banished off the lines. So anyway, Shelley, we want you to have your freedom. Bottom line.
Yes. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Anne Burrow always wanted to ask, what was your reaction to Mark passing out on the sidewalk? I would be teasing my husband no end. Love you, ladies. Oh my gosh. That was seriously a terrifying day. It was a terrifying moment. Do you know what she's talking about, Amy?
Yeah, the picture that they use against him where he was
Oh,
drunk on his birthday.
oh,
Is that what
okay.
it is?
Maybe that was one. That's not the first one that came to mind.
Oh, no. Are there multiple ones? Mark's gonna get mad.
Okay, hold on. What was your reaction to Mark passing out on the sidewalk? Okay. Yeah, so there were 2 different ones. That
Oh,
one I wasn't there for. I was in Kansas City. I was pregnant. We had barely any money. He'd gone back to LA, and we were, uh, he was saving up a bunch of money so we could get an apartment. We were literally like, he had been out of this organization for maybe 3 months at that time. And so I didn't see that picture until 7 years later, when our friend who was an OSA spy tried to blackmail Mark with it. And I
right
was
there.
like, I mean, I knew what happened. I knew he drank too much and he got whatever. Like, it's his birthday. Because seriously, like, who am I? I'm not my days of judgment are over. Those left when I escaped from the Sea organization. I'm like, walk in my shoes. Why don't you? If you want to judge me, go right ahead. Here
Yeah,
they are.
yeah.
Put them on and come back 30 years from now.
Totally.
The one that comes to mind when I read that comment, though, was when Mark released his book. We stayed up all night packaging up books because we were inundated with book orders. And then we were loading up the car, and some people were walking past our house in Burbank, and they came to the door and they were like, excuse me, ma'am, your husband's lying on the sidewalk. And I was like, what? Anyway, long story short, we had both stayed up all night packaging books, and he was and as he was closing the door to the car, the back hit him in the head
Oh,
and he
oh,
passed out.
wow.
Here was I
Okay.
thinking, I'm like, oh my gosh, like, talk about jumping to OSA conclusions. That was me. I'm like, somebody tried to kill my husband in my driveway. Like, no, the
Yeah.
police came. They found his hair on the back of the car. It was we solved the mystery, but that's what came to mind, not the other one.
Oh, that's funny. Yep. Yeah. So he
Uh,
gets teased either way.
yes, he does. Yep, yep. Susan Miller at Blown for Good, Scientology Exposed. Claire, your recent multiple interviews on various platforms have been awesome. Bet they regret making you hard as cold chrome steel now. Yeah, right?
Right. Totally.
We can do hard things. Kimberly Stovall. Did the Sir and Mr. predate Star Trek? It was the same in Star Trek. Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, was it? I didn't
I
know
don't know
that.
the answer to that because, hey, media blackout years. I don't really know. I'd have to catch up on some Star Trek to answer that question. Dastardly Saboteur. Question, Claire, what true crime podcasts are you currently following? Okay, so recently I switched over to a little bit culty, which is not true crime, but I really have liked Case File and Crime Junkies. Those are the two that I've listened to a lot of. They're both um, Case File is a guy from Australia. I think he's an anonymous podcaster. He's done a lot of episodes. And Crime Junkies is these two women from Indiana. So it's two very different vibes. I really like both of them. John Zatowski, Osa has cooties. They sure do. Hey, John, good to see you here.
Yes. Hi, John. Okay, so that's the end of those questions.
Nice.
And
Awesome.
yeah, thank you for all those wonderful comments, everybody.
Yes.
Was there anything else that we needed to do
I don't think
to
so. We can do a final giveaway or two to wrap up the evening. I can hear
good?
my hubby finally got back home, so yay.
Oh, good. Yeah, so let's wrap up. Do you wanna do one of your merches? How's that sound?
Sure, that sounds good.
Wanna do
So
that?
we'll do merch from the Blown for Good merch store, which just as a reminder, while you gear up to be writing merch in the comments, means that you can go to the merch store, pick whichever you want there. We have signed books there, but we also have all kinds of, we have Save Bob Ferris, we have BFG, SPTV. We even have some Claire Bear merch now. So all kinds of good stuff. You can just go through there to your heart's content, pick which one you'd like, send me a link to the item, claire@blownforgood.com, and I will just send you back a giveaway link. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. So we'll do this giveaway in 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Carrie Cogburn, merch, please. There you go, Carrie. You are the lucky winner of our giveaway from merch. Carrie Cogburn.
Nice.
Awesome.
Good. Okay, and then so let's just put a plug also again, please subscribe to both of our channels at Queen Bee-SP and at Blown for Good for continued exposure of the cult of Scientology. It helps. So if you haven't liked this video, please push the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to either of our channels, please go to Queen Bee-SP and subscribe, or Blown for Good and subscribe. Her next major target is 40,000. My next major target is 9,000. So
Yay.
yeah.
Awesome. And we'll do a fun party when we hit 40,000 with Mark, Mr. Blown for Good himself. And so that will either be Thursday or Saturday. And then just a reminder, I'll be doing a live with Shalise from Cults to Consciousness on Friday, which is bound to be very good.
Wow. Awesome. That sounds really fabulous. Well, good. This has been a lot of fun, everybody. It really has.
Yes.
And we are going to see you next week. Let me get this banner off. Let me get this banner hidden.
Okay.
And then we're going all the way over here and we're saying bye, everyone.